Freedom is the right of all sentient beings.
It's 3 a.m. and the sirens are going off. Another rocket attack. I've got my boots and got my ammo in my 50-pound sack. A 100 boys headed to war in this world unknown. The only peace of mind I've got are these letters from home. Another day has come and gone. Another night I'm all alone. I didn't think I'd be this far out here in Kandahar. Well, most of us, we made it home, but we never came back. But when we close our eyes at night, we hear a rocket attack. I've tried to talk and tell you about it, but it ain't the same. All these thoughts that run through my head, well, they can't be tamed. Another day has come and gone. Another night I'm all alone. I didn't think I'd be this far out here in Kandahar.
Morning, Sergeant Major.
How do you know what kind of goddamn day it is?
Beautiful morning, Sergeant Major.
Are you a fucking weatherman now?
You're listening to Sergeant's Time on WTF Nation Radio.
That's right. Break them off, some.
Break 'em off, son.
That's right. Sergeant's Time. Yeah. 10 September 2020. From the Functional Veterans Center of Excellence, U.S. Army WTF Moments and WTF Nation Radio presents. Spanky, you're back.
That's me.
Oh my God! So let's break out the snacks, son. Holy crap, man!
Clean up all this mess somebody left for me.
I'm sorry about that. Shipwreck and radar. I'm sorry.
No, they left the bag,
This
I
is
cleaned it all up,
me
they
too.
ate my snacks.
Ate your snacks. Didn't know what's going on. No, I'm serious. Hey, welcome back, man. Missed you, Sarge.
I missed you too. I missed all y'all.
This has been a break we haven't had in a long time. Well, we've all had breaks, but I totally understand that.
I know it's been a long time since I took any time off, especially.
Right.
Well, I mean, I've taken a day or two, for games and stuff, but
Of course.
2 months. I've been gone 2 months.
Right. Yeah. You've been gone 2 months. Wait a minute.
I had to think about it.
We gotta talk to frickin' Morgan about adjusting your leave form, because I don't know. I don't want
She's gonna charge me for all those days.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks, Jason. Yeah, 25th ID provided. Thank you so much for all. Did you like that baller? Did you like that baller video? That's right. Even Baby Eyes liked it. Yeah. Did you like that stuff? That's 25th ID. Some of it's from some of their previous training they just recently had. So I'll ask Sergeant Pouliot when it comes out, but it's awesome. It was an awesome video, especially the artillery and the aviations and the Lightning Academy, and we're gonna get all that at 2100 Eastern Standard Time when Lightning 7, the division command sergeant major for the 25th Infantry Division. The 25th ID, I kind of hold a personal,
3 personals.
Yeah, I got some personals with 25th ID. You've talked about this before. My dad was a Vietnam vet, and he went to Vietnam. He was assigned to 114 out of Schofield barracks out of Hawaii. Right when he showed up to Hawaii, his unit got assigned to the 4th Infantry Division to go to Vietnam. So he deployed.
Welcome and goodbye.
Yeah. So he was like 25th ID. He was Electric Strawberry for a little bit, and then he went to 4th ID. He was attached to 4th ID in Vietnam, and then he was wounded, and then he came back to the island, and he got whatever, and then he got discharged, and the deal. Everything's after that was just he went back to that. So 114 Golden Dragons. I kind of feel that's a personal attachment to me, because that's where my dad served. It's so that unit is no longer in. I think it was deactivated a while back, and I think 214 is still alive over in Fort Drum, and so 114 and 214 of the same infantry regiment. So the irony of it is that when I then deployed to Iraq with the 1st Armored Division, I kind of said some things that I shouldn't have said to a senior NCOs as a junior NCO, and I got put on detail because of it. I'll admit it.
Shocker.
I'll admit it. I said some stuff that maybe I should not have said. Maybe you should not have said, I guess.
Yeah.
And have we got a detail for you? And I got stuck. I got sent to Camp Buring, Kuwait, to when we came back from Baghdad. We drove back from Baghdad, and from Baghdad through Kuwait, through the Kuwaiti border and all that, and I had popped off. I look back and I probably deserved it. I don't know. Who knows? Did I not deserve it? I don't think so. I don't know. Yeah, exactly.
He agrees.
He agrees. Yeah, I was. He's not paying attention. He's mad at me right now because I'm not paying him no mind. I told him to go to bed, told him to go to his room, and now he's like giving me mad drum. He's trying to provide some commentary. So I got sent to Camp Buring with the 1st Armored Division, and I was responsible for getting. I was the NCOIC of the turn-in point for every single up-armored Humvee that the division had just received before they had got extended and got rolled out. And my job, because I popped my mouth off, I was responsible for turn-in, lateral transferring to 214, 10th Mountain Division.
Sounds like a lot of paperwork.
Yeah, it was a lot of. It was a lot of paperwork. I think it was 214. But anyways, the Golden Dragons. So basically, I have been around with those units around, the 25th like units or 10th Mountain. So I kind of have like a personal attachment to said organizations. It was great, great NCOs, great duty. Definitely have great memories serving with them and all that. So again, I can't wait. I'm kind of excited to see what the Lightning 7's got to say. We already got some questions in the chats already about some questions about what they need to have some whatever. Hey, there's some drama on Twitter. People are already poking holes and trying to poke whatever at Twitter. Yeah, if you can do it in the chat, go ahead and drop it in the chat. We're not really paying attention to Twitter right now as far as the comments because they could spin out of control. However, on both the Facebook pages, YouTube, and Twitch, we're on Twitch now, along with other, I don't know, what was it? We got like freaking 9 other platforms on or something like that. Yeah, we got 14. So we got 14 platforms altogether. At any rate, I just gave some information to another unit because they were thinking about coming on and wanted to know what our reach was. I'm like, yeah, here we go. And I was realizing, holy crap, we got a lot of people. So.
And for your listeners on Twitter, if you have questions, you can DM them to me too, and I will get the DM. I can't keep up with the live comments on Twitter because they disappear. They don't stay like they do on other platforms. Right. And I'm like, okay, well, someone did say something, but now it's gone.
Yeah, you see something. Then people get Yeah, the golden. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. I know. I'm trying to do a show, but you're bugging me. So go to bed. Anyways, what were we at? Oh yeah. So I kind of have a personal, I have a personal attachment to the 25th Infantry Division as far as that. So. I think the 25th, I think the Golden Dragon Association is still active, and they still do reunions on the island.
Nice.
So yeah, I'd like to go out, and there's a dragon that's out there. I guess there's a statue of a dragon. My dad really, that really didn't, tell me about, how do we say,
our dads didn't really talk about Vietnam much.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He just told me that, because he was wounded. And he said, hey, this was the unit I was in, this is the unit I was attached, and I was in Pleiku, and I was in Nam, and I did this, and we did that, and knick-knack, paddywhack, and I'm like, right. And then I kind of like went on a, as I joined the military, I had some friends that, one of my good friends, me and him were researching some of the stuff, and we're like, yeah, see, your dad was here, your dad was there. I'm like, wow, dude, how come you're, I don't know, maybe it's just a different mindset when it comes to talking about it, but, he didn't complain. There was no complaints about his tour, his time there, so he didn't say it was a messed up unit. He didn't say it was bad. He just said it was it was pretty cool. So, but yeah, if you're watching us right now, I think the 25th ID page already has a post up there, ready to go. They've already posted on their Facebook page. They got a big jungle tab. I want to ask them about that because they got Lightning Academy. They got a bunch of cool stuff. I didn't know that.
They got way too much going on.
They got cool stuff. I'm like, wait a minute. Hey, we thought freaking Bragg was in Fort Campbell and Fort Benning was the centers of the universe when it came to that. I didn't know freaking they had all that stuff. That's pretty freaking cool. All right, so at any rate, again, 2100. Make sure you tune in, and then the CSM will be on here to shoot the breeze with us. And we got some questions already we want to ask, so I'm looking forward to it. At any rate, here's the thing. What's happening with our payroll? What's going on with our payroll? Are we getting some monies taken or not monies taken?
They say in the Army, like the pay is mighty fine type thing. They give you $100, take back 99.
Yeah. This is like literally a living embodiment of a cadence.
Right?
Yeah.
I wonder if someone said that in front of this administration.
Yeah, they just exactly that. No. Well, somebody did say something in front of the administration. Oh, we can't. Can we be a little joking political? Somebody said something about a parade.
Just a little, only because it does have.
Oh, okay. Well, we almost had a freaking parade because somebody said something about a parade.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So.
Someone must have sang that cadence.
Right. Someone. Yeah. Exactly. Someone freaking. Well, that probably explains all the McDonald's every time somebody wins a sport game. Sorry. Okay. We'll stop. That was funny.
So the whole Social Security thing.
Yeah, so the whole Social Security thing. I am, I'll be honest with you, I am so freaking, I am confused. I'm literally confused. Well, I'm not confused because I'm retired. So I can, me and you are laughing about, not laughing, but me and you are concerned for the children. We are concerned for this payroll stuff.
Especially those that live paycheck to paycheck.
Exactly that. And some of the things that I'm kind of concerned with is that it's that Morgan, once again, the illustrious Morgan, the Zoltan's assistant, the artificial intelligence of the Human Resources Directorate at HRC, she published something that was right before the Army posted it, before any of this stuff came out, before anybody from the Pentagon, anybody dropped it out. Morgan just like, oh look, hey look, don't spend your money because this is what's going to happen. And we're like, wait, what?
Definitely follow Morgan at J1 on Twitter.
Yeah, definitely follow Morgan at J1. Yeah, if you don't, she is the J1. She's also got some, she's also in charge too of some of the dealings and stuff on the WTF Empire. So she's kind of like one of the bosses. So we got to listen to her. We got to kind of like pay attention. At any rate, this new tax, it's a tax, Social Security. What did you understand what was happening?
Okay, what I understand is happening is you are not going to pay Social Security taxes for the rest of the year.
Okay.
And you're going to have to pay them all back beginning of next year.
Okay.
So if you look at it, to put it in like private speak, that's the way I look at it. Look at your LES from last month. How much did they take out for Social Security? It's right there on your LES. That's how much you're not going to get taken out, within $1 or $2, unless you had some big pay raise or something for the rest of the year. September, October, November, December.
Right.
That's 4 months.
Right.
Times that number by 4, that's how much you're going to be paying back. So double that is how much you're going to be taking out next January, February, March, April.
It's a double payback then. It's their double withholding for the 4 months, for the first 4 months of 21. So everyone's take-home pay will go down during that period once they take money back.
Right. It's going to go up the next couple months, but then it's going to go way down.
Why did this happen? Why did this? You know what I mean? Why
our wonderful leaders.
I was about to say, what was the dealio? What was the dealio with this? I mean, my biggest thing is that I kind of get some sort of payroll, I don't know, some sort. We're trying to get some stimulus or some shit, like, right? Is that what we're trying to do?
Well, yeah, I guess they're trying to like say, here, go out and spend all this money, but you're gonna have to save it, or you're gonna be fucked after the beginning of the year.
I'm gonna tell you what.
So it's not gonna work. I think it was like one side's trying to play the other. Like, look, I can do this. Right. So Congress needs to say, no, you don't have to pay it back, or they're the bad guys. But I'm the good guy because they gave you extra money. You can't really fucking spend, or you're gonna be screwed next. If Congress doesn't say, oh, never mind, you don't have to pay back those four months.
Oh man, here's my thing. How do I say this? It's just us? Is it the rest of the country? How is it affecting military pay, and is it affecting federal employees? Is it not just it's also Fed workers, right? It's everybody, right? I mean, what's
yes, because since the federal government said this is what's happening, they also didn't give the federal government workers a chance, or to opt out. Like all the private employers could say, nah, we don't want to do that. It's just too much paperwork, or whatever fucking reason they decide no. Right. They don't have to, but federal government employees have no choice. And so it's like,
all right. So here's the breakdown. The breakdown that we got from Morgan, and also ironically that at the same time Morgan put the information out, the Army Times put almost the identical situation. I'm not saying that they took it from Morgan, but I'm just saying. Anyways, because we were all kind of like, I think Morgan provided some assistance to this put us. So more than 1 million military members earning $86.66 or less per month will see their checks increase by 6.2% of their basic pay beginning with the mid-September paycheck, but we'll get ready for a bite out of your check when you have to pay it back starting in January. So this affects all enlisted members, virtually all warrant officers and many officers, to include everyone in the pay grade of 04 up to 04. Officers in the grade of 05, greater than 05, because I'm speaking of all services, with less than 16 years, and those in the grade of 06 with less than 14 years our service are affected. Those who earn more than 86, 66, 66 a month will not have their Social Security taxes deferred. They will continue to pay payroll taxes. The increase for the months of September through December comes from the Social Security payroll tax deferral put in place by D. Treasy and the subsequent Internal Revenue Service guidance. It's a deferral of the payroll tax designed to put more money in the pockets of employees, at least temporarily, in an effort to ease some of the economic problems caused by the Rona, caused by COVID, according to the Trump memo. That's what it says. So, as pay period starting 1 January, service members and all employees affected will repay the money over a 4-month period and ending in April 30th. Trump's memo does require the Secretary to explore ways, including legislation, to eliminate the requirement to repay. But as of now, they're going to be repaid.
Right. So he's trying to push Congress into saying...
Correct. You know what he's doing?
Pay it back.
Does it look like
the thing that kills me the most is like federal employees are the ones that have no choice and can't opt out. And they're the ones least likely to be affected by COVID. You know, I'm not saying that nobody has, because I get there's dual income households and, you know, stuff like that. But those federal employees' paychecks and those soldiers' paychecks have been coming just like normal throughout this whole time.
Well, that's what I'm reading already. Is just that military members and civilian employees can't even opt out of it. It happens automatically according to DFAS.
Yeah.
I thought we had an in with DFAS. So most federal agencies appear to participating in the payroll tax deferrals, requiring their employees to take the tax deferral, according to a letter from Everett B. Kelly, National President of the American Federation of Government Employees, to the Office of Management and Budget Director Russell Vought. He urged the administration to allow federal workers to choose whether they wanted a tax deferral or to prefer to opt out. Reports that few civilian employers are choosing to participate in the payroll tax deferral one. Air Force, Army, Navy service members can look at their individual payroll tax amount on their LES, and it says labeled as FICA Social Security. For the Marine Corps, its deduction is as Social Security on their crayon bunny. There are concerned the military members will, of course, be hit hard in January when their paychecks are automatically decreased to repay the pay. Why was it even happening? Why did you even have to defer it? I mean, just
that's the only reason is to get Congress to say you don't have to pay it back, and then yes, you get some extra money.
Isn't it like weighing in some sort of, you know, kind of like playing against troops against us or some type of shit?
You know? I don't know. It's just like here's some extra money.
Yeah, we don't have to be political pawns in this shit. Just don't touch our cash, because right now, and by the way, if you go to AER.org, you can apply for an AER loan grants on an app. They do have an app now, so go to AER.org because you're gonna need it. If you guys need it.
I do foresee a lot of this come up January, February timeframe. If they don't, if everybody has to pay it back, because I don't care. You're looking at soldiers. It's like, even if they stick it aside, it's like, oh, here's Christmas, here's leave, here's that, and they'll spend it. Not very few. That's the wrong word. A lot of people will have a hard time saving that extra couple $100 a month, or however much it is. I'm trying to remember how much I used to pay. And that question came up too about retirees. I am still looking for it like in writing, but we don't get paid like a paycheck.
We don't.
Even at the end of the year, our income doesn't come on a W-2. It comes on a 1099.
Correct.
Yes.
It provided.
Social Security tax is taken out of mine. Not everybody.
Unless you're on a tax exempt, combat connected, blah 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 blah.
Exactly.
There's everyone's retiree pay is going to be different, so you got to go ahead and call up DFAS Finance for retirees and call their hotline and speak with because everyone's case is going to be different. I mean, me and Spanky have this kind of like the same payroll going on, but I mean, hell, I could.
But I don't have the combat tax stuff.
But right. Yeah, but the thing, hell, we could file for fucking Social Security right now if we wanted to.
Right.
So
and there are a lot of disabled vets that are on Social Security.
I was about to say they're all exactly. So this I don't understand how come we just didn't do Trump bucks, throw some cash on everybody to alleviate.
Right, just do it again.
Just do it again. Yeah, just throw some more Trump bucks out there and we'd be all right.
Why not went to the vet?
Right. It's just funny how all this stuff about all this. So Sergeant of the Army did say specifically, hey, don't spend your money. there's going to be some extra cash in there. Make sure you budget. Make sure it would be wise that you don't, it would be wise that you don't do it. And he said straight up, don't even do it. Don't spend it. If the sergeant major of the army say, hey, don't spend your money, save your money up and all that, then it would be a good idea to not do that. Because everyone was kind of like, it just hit us, like bam, just happened.
Right. And leaders, y'all know who your soldiers are that have, money issues and don't know how to, save or anything like that. Talk to them. Those are the ones that are going to be, at your desk in front of you in January. Like, I don't have enough money to pay all my bills because double of it's getting taken out.
How many Dodge Chargers and Chevy Camaros are we going to see it? Because there's going to be Joe out there. I know how to match my. I know how to. I invest in stocks and I'm good to go. And blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Right. I got extra, a couple $100 this month. I'm gonna go spend it on wherever, whatever bar they go to. That's what that happens. You can't tell me it doesn't. I was, a little private once too. Spent every dime I had, every paycheck. You mostly on food and clothes. You spent money.
You spent money on beverages, on adult beverages.
I did. I was in Korea as a private.
I'm about to say, yeah, I was. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I was junior. I was junior in freaking in Hood and in Germany.
Mm-hmm. And then Korea then Hood.
Yeah. So you had to if you weren't spending money on drinking, man, I think all your money went to drinking because there was nothing left. You had like I don't know $20 or something like that after your pay. I didn't need to pull up. I pulled up my LES at one time, and I looked at my old LES. I'm like, damn. Exactly, Gary. Joe is already picking up a Harley at the end of the month. Exactly that. He's already. Oh, I'm getting some. What are you talking about? Whatever, Sergeant. Whatever. But no, see that right there is kind of a. We didn't really need it, I guess. Does that really? I mean, thank you, but thank you for not. No, I mean, you can at least just let their checks alone, and understand why the federal employee side of it. That's what I don't get. I mean, that was almost like, why did you have to do it that way? Why didn't the government? Because there both had to be some sort of congressional and, there had to be some sort of bipartisan, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, and the people that need help the most probably aren't working or getting a lot of Social Security taken out or not working a lot of hours.
Right.
Or, it's like, okay, like you didn't help the people that probably need help.
Right. Exactly. Oh, well, I mean,
the lower their paychecks are, the less Social Security is getting taken out. Oh, thanks for this extra $6 this month.
Yeah, exactly.
From my waitress paycheck.
Exactly. God wants to know how more DARA. How much more DARA you're going to get for the minivans? You're going to be able to buy some more. How many more minivans can you buy with all those DARAs?
Oh, God. I got to get the kid a car. My chauffeuring days are almost over.
Oh, wow. That's right, huh? Yeah.
Yes. That's the thing. The girl got a license while I was on break.
Oh, darn.
I know. Now it's like every 5 minutes. Can I go here? Can I go here? And I'm like, well, can you go to Walmart and go grocery shopping? Then you can go after that.
Right. Oh, man, I didn't even think about that. I mean, because my oldest, she's like, hey, got some issues with one of my car, blah blah blah. I'm like, okay, cool. And then I realized, oh my God, she's driving her car. She's mobile. Anyway, I gotta put
scary.
I gotta put a tracking device. I need to, Dad, whatever, shut up, I don't want to be that dad, but I respect my daughter's space when it comes to that. But yeah, I was just kind of like thinking, damn, dude, how is it gonna affect Joe? I don't know. We'll find out. I know a lot of leaders right now are currently telling I think Army wide. They probably have had they probably had over the 4-day weekend for Labor Day, a large behooving formation.
Of course.
So that way they can
with masks,
so they can piggyback and caveat of all of what's to be caveated of excellence.
It didn't take long, 37 minutes.
We're gonna have. What are you talking about? We're gonna have Lightning 7 come on here. He's gonna be caveating all over the place. We're gonna have so much caveat, and it's gonna be awesome. I can't wait to caveat. It's gonna be fun. It's good to have you back, man. I'm just saying. I missed you.
I know. I missed you. I did. I missed all y'all.
I missed all y'all. Yeah, I missed you. Whatever. I missed all y'all. I just missed you. Shut up. I missed you. It was. I'm not saying I didn't like hanging out with the guys, but it's just freaking. Anyways, Yeah, it's just some of the caveating, behooving. I would make a comment or make a joke, and I'd be like, yeah, I'd be like caveating, and then people just would be like, okay, see, you don't mean you don't spanky like you know what I mean.
You don't speak my language.
You don't speak spanky. I'm trying to
You have to learn my language to get into the Sergeant's Time mood here.
Yeah, I'll be able to.
I make up words.
Right. You are not like Keith. He's going to come on at 2100, but you can get to the rest of it on a podcast. Exactly that from what Spanky said. You'll be able to download it once this thing ends and all that. We'll be able to. You'll be able to get it all different platforms and all that stuff. You can jump on YouTube. You can jump on other Facebook pages. Yeah, we're on 2 Facebook pages right now. Actually, we're on 3. We're on 3 because U.S. Army WTF Moments videos page, where the studios drops all the fire videos of Joe's being Joe. It'll be on there too. So it'll be loads of fun. Okay, so the next story. So again, keep your ear to the ground. Pay attention to formation. I'm pretty sure your leaders is just as confused as you are, because we are too.
You just heard us go through it.
Yeah, we just heard it. Yeah, like Joe, like Marty said. Let me dovetail off what he said of excellence, because we still don't freaking know what's going on. Save your money. And you know what?
Your check is bigger. Put that bigger part aside.
There's going to be some retired sergeant major outside of gates of every single large military installation saying, "We finance E1 and up. Your LES is your credit." They're going to do it.
Victim to that as a private too.
Yeah, they're going to do that. Same here. Oh, I know the deal. So, same here. Everyone's done Joe stuff. But anyway, so that's the deal. That's it for that story. So the next story we're going to talk about is we almost had a Ronald, yeah, exactly. Save your money. We almost had a literally periodic printed periodic disaster happening. The Pentagon was about ready to close down Stars and Stripes. Did you hear about that?
I did, especially on Chad Garland's Twitter feed. That's how I first heard about it.
Right.
Because it's been a long time since I've read a printed Stars and Stripes, but it was everyday occurrence when I was overseas.
Right, but
not everybody has like good internet.
But it was overseas.
Yeah.
I mean, it was overseas. It was. It was the retired CSM cab driver mafia in Benning. Oh my God! Yes. When I was there, yes, there was some yes. They're like, hey man, looking all knobby headed. No, I'm not a Joe. They like stalk you like vultures.
I think that's every post before Uber and Lyft. That was like every post.
Yeah, it was the retired CSMs. There was no Uber and Lyft. That was,
I wonder if they're doing Uber and Lyft.
Command Sgt Major Lyft. Right. But yeah, I will say this: there was a move to have the Stars and Stripes closed down. I mean, there was like, we don't need that, we don't want that, blah blah blah. It's outdated and all this other stuff. Being that we are into the digital age, I'm kind of conflicted. Do you read better when you're looking at a Kindle or whatever looking Kindle, whatever freaking e-reader? Do you prefer looking at a book as opposed to digitally reading?
To me, it doesn't make a difference.
Okay.
It doesn't, because I have hundreds of books on my Kindle. I like to be able to take all that with me without carrying hundreds of books with me.
Right.
But I love reading a book too. But it doesn't matter to me.
Okay. My thing is that I like the touch. I like the tactile.
Right.
I just like reading along. And if I want to read it and I want to put it in my cargo pocket or put it in my bag or something like that, I can read it for later. And then if there's some sort of military, like if there's a historical significance, like tomorrow is the 19th anniversary of the attacks on our country on September 11th. I have several newspapers that happen on that day, like that the next day, the September 12th. Right. I have a couple of September 12th newspapers. I have when we got Osama. I have when Bush visited Fort Bragg and said, "Hey, how you doing, ass? How y'all doing?" I got those are to me like historical and we have, to me, it's almost like a historical piece. And the place has been at what, 100 years? That's how old it is. Right. It's about 100 years.
Right. And I agree with you, and I don't think like they should get rid of Stars and Stripes, period, at all. But maybe it should go the way of most of it is online, and they don't. I mean, I can get to where it's like, a compromise. Like maybe they just put out like a Sunday paper edition, but their daily edition is just online. Because yes, most people can get it online,
right?
But I also understand where you're coming from. Like I have saved newspapers, like especially how all the posts have their little paper. That's what they need to get rid of, because those things are in everybody's damn driveway.
Well,
until like housing comes and says pick up your paper.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point. No, I could see some like installation papers, but that's how some of the installation. I mean, because you got to remember the retarees, they still have to. When I visit other, like when I was at Fort Jackson, I was at Fort Benning. I saw some old coots around there, getting coffee, and they're like, and they're sitting there reading a paper. Oh, what are you doing here? Not beheaded? I'm not. I'm retired too, guys. Just knock it off.
No, that's true, and and a lot of people don't want that change, and I can't see them like being like this huge part of the budget that it's like, oh, we must cut this. I'm sure, if they need to save money, there's probably a lot of ways to do it besides taking away, I don't know, something that's been part of our history for so long.
Well, I think,
and exactly that. Like I have a picture of Scarlett. Like they did a little thing at the daycare, and I was gone, and my ex-husband sent that to me in the mail. I'm like, oh, why'd you send me this newspaper? He's like, read it.
What did you send me this newspaper? Why did you send me this newspaper? What you want me to be in the obituaries, motherfucker? No, just kidding.
Right.
So no. I look at it and being the media guy that I am, multimedia guy, doing the influence stuff, and I work alongside IO people now, and a lot more IO people and public affairs. Just from what we do, doing the outreach for the main page and then working with the radio. I work a lot more with IO and PAO, and I'm now starting to understand what they mean. Because me as a PSYOP guy, I'm like, whatever. But as I started working with them and I started seeing what the usefulness, and then I started seeing who would belong to, I'm thinking, yeah, we kind of need this. Like Gary said, there's a point there where you have to have areas where they're not, there's no availability to digital or electricity.
Right.
Some of the key methods of influence, one of our TTPs, I hate doing it, but it has to happen sometimes, is we throw freaking wolf tickets. We throw leaflets out of helicopters. And we fly, drop leaflet bombs, and everyone collects the leaflets. And not for you, Joe. They're not for you Sarns to go, oh, look, I got a PSYOP leaflet. It's for the audience. It's for other people. So that medium right there, I'm not saying that we're PSYOPing our people, but I'm just saying that was a method of I guess you would say, of accessibility. And there's nothing wrong with that. I guarantee there's been some times where I've been in the middle of an area, and all of a sudden I see a stack of Stars and Stripes, and I'll pick it up and I see somebody that, somebody did this, or hey, I kind of wanted to have that news back home. So
right.
It kind of spiraled into it's a good thing to have or not good to have. But what I didn't know is that I didn't know who really owned it. I didn't know who was really part of the thing. So the DoD rescinded the order shutting down the military's independent newspaper. If they're so independent, how come they need to, if it's independent and it's part of a section, I didn't know this, they're part of the defense media activity.
I don't know how that works. Like, exactly where does the money come from? DoD budget?
Yeah, just DoD money. That's like, some of the funding, we're going to have somebody on here. Hey, Chad, if you're listening, I know you do, or Jim Laporta, or even some people that I don't like, but you're an expert in Stars and Stripes, you can give us a call. I am professional. He is. There's individuals that I have spoken to, and I keep my personal feelings because I want to get the word out, and I want to make sure we maintain some level of professionalism. But the DoD had ordered the paper to shut down following the Pentagon's earlier move to cut $15.5 million in funding from the budget. So as the news, obviously it trickled out, then everybody's like, whatever. And President Trump said the United States of America will not be cutting funding to the Stars and Stripes under my watch. It will continue to be a wonderful source of information to our great military. Okay. So
it's not going away.
It's not going away. So Trump bucks.
Get my Sunday comment.
So Trump bucks will be saving the Stars and Stripes, but they will definitely be taking some money out of your pay.
Right. Next year, though.
Next year.
Get more for now.
Exactly that, Marty.
Way less later.
It's just like the Voice of America. They have a strategic mission. It is. You're right. It is 100%. It's one of the things that exactly that, Marty. I see that Marty's like reading that Stars and Stripes right there. I got busted out on Stars and Stripes, and I didn't know I was on Stars and Stripes until I was on the battlefield on Stars and Stripes when a particle came out 3 days or a few days later. I was already in Iraq, and everyone's like calling me media whore. I'm like, for what? Why do you guys call me that? What did I do? I get an email, and they're like, "Oh, I see you on Stars and Stripes. Go pick up a Stars and Stripes." And I look at it. It's a picture of me in Germany, doing some training with the 1st Armor Division way back in the day, and I guess they were highlighting it again. And holy shit, Post paper is still a contract, but PAO oversees it still. Yeah, exactly. Some of the stuff like that, I think it's kind of like a back and forth kind of thing. It's a unnecessary evil. I think to me it's like the external communications of our influence activities that I think we should subsume. I honestly think that. I honestly think that the Stars and Stripes, and this may sound freaking crazy, and people are gonna be like, "Oh my god, I can't believe you just said that on air." I just think we should all be one. We should all be one happy family. One internal to audiences and external audiences, and Stars and Stripes could be external. There you go. You have public affairs that do command information and stuff like that. I know I'm like, I got buddies of mine right now that are probably having heart attacks and strokes and pulmonary embolisms by me talking about having some type of merger like that. But I think it'd be a good idea. It's one budget. Money gets allocated to that.
I don't see a problem with the money wise. It's just that PAOs, in my opinion, their job is to only highlight the great things units are doing.
Wow.
That's
Man.
my opinion, and I'm
having
not
5, 4, 3, 2. I'm waiting for phone calls now. I'm waiting.
Like, you don't like get PAOs like being the first one on the gun to post like anything bad.
Right.
They usually do damage control after like sources like the Stars and Stripes has
Right.
a purpose. Everybody else says, hey, these people fucked up.
Right.
And then the PAOs go, yeah, well, sorry, we did.
I think you should be like,
whatever it is.
I mean, because I think there should be something of a one of my PA colleagues. And again, because there's a lot of stuff that I Zoom and I've been invited to a lot of professional forums that I obviously they're Chatham House rules. They don't want and they're not going to be broadcasted. They every time I come on, they're like, you're not going to like record this, right? This is not going to be on the main page, right? I'm like, no. If you ask me to come on and these are the rules, and I'm not speaking at that capacity, then I will not speak at that capacity. I will speak to you as that. One of them said the difference between public affairs and public relations, and I'm thinking, ooh, that's like public relations and public affairs are totally different when it comes to public relations being the practice of deliberately managing the release or spread of information between an individual and organization and the public. Right, so it's like a public relations and publicity differ from PR. You know what I'm saying? It's like this is more controlled internally, where publicity is not controlled. So it's almost like being thrown it out there. And it was a good point. They even rolled up propaganda in there. I'm like, whoa, hey, we don't do
I've never seen any of like U.S. propaganda. I have.
That's right. You have not. You have not seen, because we don't do U.S. propaganda. We do influence. We can't say psyop because people freak out when you say psyop. They're like, no, we don't.
It sounds so sneaky.
It is. It's pretty freaking sneaky. It is. We all messaged, so we all are the same. Said your PAO, your mom, local paper psyop. Exactly. I need to get Marty riled up. I did not drink the IO juice. I'm just talking about I've seen what their point of view is at. I am still a practitioner of the dark arts. Ghost Army, all the way. But yeah, I just kind of like, I'm just curious that they would shut it down like that. And then all of a sudden, oh, no, we're not going to do it. No, we're good. We're good.
And I don't even see that as being like any kind of political move. I think it was just a, let's save money. And then other people's like, no, we're not saving that money. You find some other money.
Do you think we've had a good? I think what would happen is that we realize that we've gotten too dependent on digital, and people saw that like, we don't need that. Do you think that?
Yes, that happens.
Right.
And I mean, it's a good thing, but think of like everything you have on your computer. Well, I can't fucking do shit today because my internet's down, or so it goes both ways. And
right.
So you like I said, especially where internet is not like you can just go plug into any wall and like be connected. So
yeah,
I think it has its place. I think
yeah. I mean, we do have a higher reach, a farther reach than the other military like organizations that provide news and stuff like that. So I'm humble I'm not humble. Am I humble bragging? Is that what they call it, humble bragging, when you're talking shit but you're not, but you're being all like smug about it, like yes, I'm just humble bragging that we have, I don't know, a farther reach.
It's just like you're looking over the side of your glasses and just
yes, a noodly smashing. Exactly.
the top of your glasses.
Yes, yeah, exactly. With my little monocle. No, I got a monocle.
Oh, sorry, monocle. Yes,
I got a monocle. Yeah, I got a brandy. I got a large sniffer and a cigar. Yes, indubitably. We definitely have a farther reach. I was just talking with them, like I said, talking to another unit today, and I realized how much of a reach we had. I'm like, holy crap, we got a reach. That's a big reach. A big reach. Let's see, just real quick. I told somebody, hey, whatever. Do you want to know what the reach is? I'm like, yeah, I'll give you the reach. And then I'm like, holy crap, that's a reach.
That's a lot of hands.
That's a lot of hands. That's a lot of hands to be thrown. That's right. If you want to throw hands, man, you'd be surprised. They get mad at something you post, and you realize that I got to deal with an inbox of over, let me see, just over last week, the U.S. Army WTF Moments and WTF Nation Radio had we had a reach just in like the last few days, 2 million peeps.
Hey y'all.
Hey, what's up? And we had 3.3 million engagements, like post engagements, like interactions with people, commenting with us and stuff like that. So because our admin team is kicking butt. But yeah, I mean, we got it broken down. We got, like I said, we get pinged. We ping all over around the globe. I think, let's see, the last one we hit, one of the broadcasts that we hit, I can't remember which one it was. We had like 7.7 million reach in the U.S. Just in the U.S. In Puerto Rico, 194,000. The U.K., 93,000. Germany, 78,000. So, hey, what's up, Paul from Nepal?
All the Europeans like listening to. Yeah, Paul from Nepal.
Paul from Nepal. Let's see if did he up his no, it's 3.
Get any wingdings?
Yeah, getting wingdings. Yeah. We got in the Ukraine. Of course, we have a bunch of Afghanistans and all that stuff. We have Bangladesh. So we're global, man. We're it's awesome. But yeah, I don't want to catch these hands.
I've been like dying to throw some.
I know, you were like getting all up in my freaking timeline. I'm like, what are you doing? Why
I've been in a mood.
You've been, yeah. I can't even joke around about talking to people, and you're like, who is that? Who are you talking to? I'm like, wow. I'm like, holy shit.
I'm jealous.
Damn, it's like you're I didn't realize you were going to be that way, but oh man, and you were like on break. Who's that you're talking to? I just had high. Who is that?
I just got to remind you that I was around while I was on break.
Yeah, I know you were going to stab somebody, man. I was like, holy shit, damn girl. But no. So again, it all varies on the reach and stuff like that. Like right now, we just clocked in a higher reach now. So right now we've reached 8.9 million people right now, as of right now, 8.9 million people.
It's a lot of people.
12 million engagements now.
We have to say.
Yeah, yeah, that's a lot of people that want to talk shit. Those are some hating hands. So when everyone's like, "Oh, you just got a little," are we? You guys just or like General Donahoe said, we were just a stupid little radio station. I think he was being sarcastic and just joking.
Oh yeah, of course. He loves us.
Yeah, well, we love him. Yeah, he's like freaking. He tell Ken to shut up or tell whatever. Tell Ken to help me drop a meme or something like that. How dare you? How dare you talk to my work husband?
Right.
But no, I mean, like I said, this is. I'm glad that that the Stars and Stripes is saved. I'm glad that they don't have to worry about losing loot because there were some soldiers that I know for a fact would have gotten some information that they would it's kind of like a pick me up, like a morale boost. But anyways, all right, so we're gonna take a break right quick, and then we're gonna have the division Sergeant Major for the 25th ID Lightning 7. Command Sgt. D Pouliot. And man, I can't wait. So everyone, go refresh your glasses. Smoke if you got them. Go use the head or the latrine, or whatever you want to call it, the bathroom. And then
go potty.
Go potty. Exactly. When you got a toddler, man, it's like I got to make sure I talk grown-up terms. You should use the latrine. Anyway, so we'll be right back. Everyone stand by. Shots.
WTF Nation Radio. WTF Nation Radio.
Take it from me, Ice. You can't just float around space not caring about stuff forever.
The voice of U.S. Army. WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Shit in the bag, Pogue.
looking up and fading out. Cirrus shapes I found blow me away. Van Allen right around, pushing through. Skin is brown. Nature has us trapped in fear, so I get lost in sound. I wonder if you'll ever know why I am the way I am. I've been thinking a lot about time.
I am here determined to stop this future atrocity.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe. I suggest we use it.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
please enjoy the show. Shots.
And we're back. Man, I am pumped. We have Command Sergeant Major William D. Pouliot, the DCSM, the Division Command Sergeant Major for the 25th Infantry Division. What's going on, Bill?
Hey, how you doing, Ice? Nice to be here.
Oh man, hey, real quick, how are things going on over in your side of the world with the COVID environment?
Yeah, I think that we are in a unique position out here in the on the islands in the state of Hawaii, and I think that the governor and the mayors here they are being a bit cautious, which is good. You know, if we get an outbreak on the island, it's going to cause a pretty big spread across the island. So we are under another stay-at-home order right now, and to say stay-at-home is for non-essential personnel. And then, you know, how we kind of define that with non-essential personnel, we let commanders, and really that's at the right now during the stay-at-home order, brigade commanders determine who's mission essential and who's not. Unique too, because we are actually we just loaded the boats for JRTC as 2nd Brigade heads out for JRTC here at the beginning of October. The leaders are over there doing their leader training right now, and then we'll send about 4,000 folks to JRTC, and that's just a mission that, you know, we can't stop. That's important for the entire organization. And then, you know, starting next week, another mission essential task, just because the ability to develop experts and build readiness and reward excellence across the entire force. We had planned on doing EIB, expert infantryman's badge and expert soldier badge training starting next week, and we are going to continue with that. We just had it validated by Benning and Jackson. But that's just, you know, we have plenty of mitigation protocols in place to include the travel out to the training site,
right?
How we're training, how we're testing. We have a lot of mitigations in place, and I think that we created a safe place, a bubble for everybody to train in. But other than that, things are very well. I mean, how bad it could be? We're living in paradise.
I was about to say, you guys are in Hawaii, so if you get quarantined on Hawaii, you're quarantined on freaking Hawaii.
Yeah, only on Hawaii when it's quarantined, everything's shut down, like the beaches and the trails, and you really can't go anywhere. However, now you can go to the beach by yourself or go hiking by yourself. I don't know how safe that is, but
right.
One of the mitigations that the state put in place here recently.
Now, with the state, did they have anybody reach out to the garrison and say, "Hey, look, now this is implemented. Now we're going to do this." Now, I mean, obviously, there had to have been some impact. Has the word gotten out yet, or did this just happen?
This meaning
the stay-at-home order just happened just now, or?
Oh no, it was on for 2 weeks, and then they and that was about the 1st of September, or it was right after. Right before Labor Day weekend.
Oh, okay.
And it was going through the 11th, but then the governor just made a decision to extend it another 2 weeks. And it's something that we went through in the springtime too. So we've gone through it before, and what's different this time is we can understand COVID a little bit better than we did when it came out in the springtime when it started, and we can put a lot of mitigation protocols in place while we're doing things. You know, you got to wear cloth masks almost everywhere you go, but you know, to protect the force, it's important to do, but training is also important to do as we have a job to do.
No, I totally understand. You guys, now that the missions focus for Indo-PACOM has been a little bit more scoped, is it, I mean, obviously you guys are probably doing a lot more. You just said you're getting ready to go to JRTC?
Yes. So how we're set up, you know, during the I guess each year, one of the brigades will go to JRTC and one will go to the Indo-PACOM AOR and do training out with the regional partners. And that's kind of the great mission we have here in America's Pacific Division, in that we get to develop and conduct persistent engagement with our regional partners and shape the environment to prevent future conflict across the entire AOR. And some of the audience listening right now or sometime in the future may have heard from your battle buddies or somebody else that the 25th has a high operational tempo, and it absolutely does. We are a busy light division, but that comes with opportunities and experiences that are truly unique to the light fighters of the 25th. Opportunities to become experts in your field on a daily basis. So I'll throw it out there. If you want a challenge and an opportunity to rapidly grow and develop yourself in a 3-year period, come to the 25th Infantry Division. I promise you, we will make you a lethal expert regardless of your occupational specialty.
We got individuals asking questions already. I'll just go ahead and jump on it. Can you tell us what is the Lightning Academy?
Okay, so the Lightning Academy is our you talk about unbelievable opportunities out here. So we have our own in-house training institution, which is the Lightning Academy, where we have, honestly, some of the most professional NCOs in the Army teaching air assault school, small unit ranger tactics, formerly known as pre-ranger, and the jungle operations training course, or JOTC. And for those listening, I can honestly tell you that if you attend, or if you want to attend and be successful at Ranger School, for example, this is the CERT program to attend. I attended and was successful at Ranger School in 1997. I attended this program out here, and we continue to have one of the highest success rates in the Army. And I believe second to only one other organization, and that's the Ranger Regiment. And I guess if you're second to somebody, that's not a bad unit to be second to.
True.
Our jungle operations training course is now the Army's only jungle operations course. If you want to learn something about operating in the jungle, this is the best 12 days in the Army to do so. In the past, it had been some more days, but our NCO instructors that are out there have attended jungle tracking and survival courses all over the world. Some of them up to 5 different courses, 5 different countries, and are able to present world-class instruction in order to create the jungle experts that we need in our formation, because we are America's Pacific Division, and are expected to be jungle experts. So
of course.
Yeah, and I talked about when we first shut down for COVID, we had an opportunity to look at our programs of instruction out there, and we kind of revamped a little bit of the jungle school to make it more what we needed. That's when we went from 19 to 12 days, and really looking at it, it was, hey, how do we get more of our light fighters, more of our leaders to go out there? We took a 19-day POI and didn't take anything out, but put it all in 12 days because there was some fluff in there, some days off and everything else. So then I attended the first one, and you talked about, or I think we had talked about, when I went out there. So the last couple of days finishing up the course, I did, and I forget the name of the tendon in my calf, but it happens to be a tendon that you don't need anymore, but it sure felt like somebody shot me in the calf when that thing popped. And I'm fine now, but that was, one of them moments when your career's flashing before your eyes and you're just like, oh no, I'm done. All of us at this level have gone through that before.
You're preaching to the choir, man.
Yeah. But no kidding, that the Lightning Academy overall, and specifically CERT and JOTC, is probably one of the 2 most professional, success-driven courses we have out there. Air Assault is as well, and Air Assault teaches we do a lot of foot movement. We're a light division, right? So we use helicopters a lot. So we obviously need the experience and education that comes with the Air Assault course as well.
Is a good question. Everyone's asking. Okay, that now that you got it, there's individuals that went to it and now they're authorized to wear the jungle tab, right?
So, right now they are the USARPAC commander authorized the wear of the jungle tab in the Indo-PACOM AOR. So if we go back to the States or we redeploy or PCS to a CONUS unit back in the States, you'd have to take it off. This is something that we're trying to work with the Army now to, get an authorized POI. and obviously with an authorized POI comes the manning that comes with it, because the Lightning Academy, the entire thing is manned out of Hyde right now.
Right.
So we're trying to work to get an authorized POI and get the Army to understand, because we do have people from different organizations all over the Army, Special Forces, different countries, our partner nations, coming and attending all 3 of those courses that we offer out there. So it really is an asset to the Army. So yes, it is one thing that is a goal of both the CGNIs in the future, is get the jungle tab authorized for wear, just like the Ranger tab or the Airborne tab.
Now, with that, you said it's opened up. Can anybody that wants to attend JOTC, like for instance, I got buddies at Bragg and I got buddies at Hood. If they can they submit something through ATARs? How does it work? How do you get to go to JOTC?
They can submit it through ATARs. It is an ATAR school. Obviously, I don't want to say obviously, but our schedule has been a little bit messed up this year, because like right now we're not running any courses because they're in the stay-at-home order. It's not something that we need to do. So it is an ATARs. We do have a special operations unit planned to come here and do it in November. We've had units from JBLM, Alaska, and in the past had companies from the Ranger Regiment come over here and go through the Jungle Academy. So it is feasible, and you can do it through ATARs.
Awesome. So there's individuals already asking, do you think the new DA photo policy will increase diversity promotions as we move into a merit-based promotion system with officers and NCOs?
I think it's great. I do think that I think it's great for promotion. I don't know that it's going to get after diversity like we think, because if we take all that out of there, I don't know, you have the propensity to create units of one diverse, not diverse units, but one specific background.
Right.
Just because that's what they like to do and that's what they're apt to do, right? So I think it's good, overall project inclusion. I don't know that the DA photo piece and taking that out of there is, and I know that the Army's looking at it, but that's something that they'll continue to look at and come up with the right decision for the Army at large. But when we talk about project inclusion, I think it's a huge step forward.
Definitely. I think most of it too, it kind of alleviates, well, right now, I mean, with COVID and everything, you can't even take a photo to begin with. So I think it kind of alleviates the stress of having to get a DA photo knocked out. You know what I mean? And then just one benefit of it, I guess you would say. The 25th is geographically like in a unique position. How does the division prepare? Of course, this is being opposite. How does it prepare for like emerging threats in the area? Because you got Abu Sayyaf going on in the Philippines. You got North Korea kicking off. You got whatever is going on. How does the division prepare? Are you guys like on like how I don't want to say the 82nd, but yeah, like the 82nd. You guys are like in a DRB status, or how does that work?
We do have a status that and it's through Indo-PACOM. So we have a brigade, I think here coming up pretty quick, that and it's different levels. So without getting into the weeds of everything, we do have a deployment ready status that we follow. And just getting after the different AORs, we do that through our deployments with our partner nations, training with our partner nations, learning about them. We do have the Asian Pacific Center for Studies here that, we have leaders, we bring them over here to conduct LPDs, and we just kind of stay on top of things. But, there are a lot of countries in the AOR, and it's hard to, as it's hard to be an expert at everything. So you got to kind of focus on certain areas.
You guys work a lot with the SFABs. Were you guys involved with their recent deployments as well? Did you guys help them out?
We have not been involved with the SFAB very much. I mean, I take that back. So we did Lightning Forge in July, which is kind of the brigade's final training event before going to JRTC.
Right.
And going to JRTC, we're talking about partner nations. We have the ties Indonesians sending folks to JRTC. So the SFAB sent a team down here to work with the TIEs, because the TIEs came here during Lightning Forge. So that is how we're kind of tied in. And then the information, we do have a lot of people with a lot of experience and knowledge on the AOR, so they're in constant communication with the SFAB. But other than them coming and participating in Lightning Forge, we haven't had much other interaction than that.
Now, could you tell what is Lightning Forge? Can you give us a background on what Lightning Forge was all about?
It's kind of like a miniature JRTC where we're taking an internal and external look at ourselves. So the brigade going to JRTC is obviously going to go get evaluated. So we do that, resource it here, and we have the an organization here on the island that helps JPMRC, helps us with the OCs during the event. But you basically go through a miniature JRTC where you go out there, you do an attack, you move into a defense, you go back on the offensive, like any other major operation, but you got the whole brigade. And really, you've been here to Hawaii, so we did it up in the Kahukus, but then spread it out. We have the other training areas that are around here, East Range and on main post here. And it's about 10 days total. We're 10 or 12 days, but really test the systems of the brigade and get them ready for JRTC.
What's after that? Then obviously you go through that phase, then you do the JRTC phase, and then what is it the same? Is it the same? Is it a coin scenario when you guys are at JRTC? What kind of scenario do they put you guys in?
I have not been to JRTC in a long time, so I cannot.
It's okay. I've only jumped into JRTC once, a long time ago, way back in the day.
The last time I honestly went to JRTC was when I was here, and I think that was in 1996 that we went.
Oh wow, yeah, it's totally changed, man.
We obviously, I don't say obviously, but when I was in the regiment, we jumped in there and did our own thing a couple of times, but not went through an entire rotation.
Right, yeah. It's the same thing, yeah. No, I was just curious because normally that's kind of like everyone's eval before they get them stamped certified to be considered quote unquote ready. You guys just did an exercise with the Marines, right? You guys had some.
Yeah, they worked with our the Divardi, one of our artillery battalions, 3-7. Or no, 211. I'm sorry, 211. And they were really, we used their Ospreys to kind of do some on-offload drills and some travel around the island and kind of work with see how we can move the artillery pieces around.
Did you get a ride in one of them? Did you check them out?
I honestly think that was when I was going through JOTC, because I know the CG went out there and he posted some pictures of shooting one of the 777s, but I think that was when I was in JOTC.
Okay, so let's get in the weeds right quick with JOTC, because now I'm really curious about what JOTC is about. What is it? Can you give us a by-day breakdown? Is that like G2 on the test? Is that okay? Could you elaborate a little bit, or what can you get away with saying?
I get away with saying a lot because we broke it down day by day on our division page on the Facebook page.
Awesome.
So we have kind of narratives day 1 through day 12 that are posted on there. Briefly, day 1, obviously you go and kind of in process and test. So that's one thing we just added with on day 1 is you kind of test out on knot time. Knot time's very important when we're talking about moving through the jungle and being able to extract people should you need to, or get down places that are really steep. So the knot time, we move to a day 1 test. Day 2, you do a jungle 5K run and a swim assessment. And then you go into some of your classes, your jungle medical classes, movement techniques, tracking. You go into some survival classes, and then you spend a few days out doing operations in the jungle environment to learn how to operate. Obviously, the one thing different here in Hawaii is even though you learn about some of the stuff, there's nothing here in Hawaii that'll kill you in the jungle. There's a centipede that'll sting you, but you don't have to worry about anything killing you here in the jungle. But you still learn a lot about how to operate in the jungle and kind of some of the key things you need to think about while you're doing so.
Now, you have a challenge. I've been watching you. Yeah, what's pretty cool is you have like a best squad. You actually call out squads and units online. Can you tell us about that?
I absolutely can. So, called the Lightning 7 Challenge or the L7 Challenge, as you see it on the page. We kind of adopted this as COVID first came out to encourage. We were on a stay-at-home order, just like we are now. So it was like, how do we encourage individuals to, even though they have to stay at home or they can only walk outside their front door, how can they knock out some PT? And then how do we get squad leaders involved to say, hey, how are you ensuring your squads are doing PT under the stay-at-home order? So they had to come get creative ways to ensure that their young light fighters were doing PT while they're staying at home. What it morphed into was a challenge to inspire high levels of physical fitness across the division. Competition is healthy. I've always believed that. It breeds success and excellence. Every soldier should start the day with physical readiness training, as we all have an obligation to fight and win our nation's wars at a moment's notice. And wars take a toll on everyone, regardless of you fighting on the front lines or you're supporting those that are. So if you're not physically ready to do it, then how are you supporting those to your left and right? So it's just a challenge out there to improve readiness, and then also ties into the desired effects with "This is my squad," the leadership philosophy, or TIMS, to cultivate care and ownership with the leaders, and bolster pride, the pride that the junior soldiers have in their squads. I would say we really do have fun with it. We have been a couple slow. One when I injured myself. I think I did a swimming one for that, but right now I stayed home. I reposted one that we did in the beginning, so individuals can do that and then send it to their squad leaders so that they can, put their squad video together and then submit it to see who wins. And then I'll bring it back. I'll post another one on Monday in honor of Suicide Awareness Month and raising awareness for the approximate 20 veterans and service members who decide that life is no longer worth living. But as we all know, every life is worth living. Yep. And we need to help lead and educate our formations on the resources available to them as before they get to the feeling of having no hope. And I did do after about the first quarter of doing the Lightning 7 Challenge, we had about 11 squads because one of them won a couple times. And then I challenged them to a squad of squads challenge, and then that entire squad that won, they each got an ARCOM. And I think for all of them, none of them had received an ARCOM before. So
it's awesome.
It's kind of motivating them to get out there and get after it.
Well, you actually had a parent, a father of one of the light fighters participating in it too. Can you tell us about that?
I think that I just heard about that. I think that was yesterday.
Yeah.
So when I post the notice on the winner for this last couple weeks, I'm absolutely going to give him a shout out.
That's awesome. Yeah, I saw that on the page. I'm like, whoa, that's what I'm talking about. Dad's getting there and getting at it. That's awesome. We got another question here about does the school, when you go to JRTC, require any amount of quarantine time before or after admittance to the course? So, in other words, if I get sent to JOTC, am I going to have 14 days of lockdown paradise before I start the course?
So that's not a course requirement, but it's a state requirement. And we are absolutely falling in line with state requirements when folks come here. So they will have to endure right now a 14-day ROM or restricted movement before they go to the course.
So can you, do you guys pay for it? How does that work? How does one sign into Hawaii? Because it's not like it's considered Oconus, so it's not like you're showing up to one stop at Bragg or one stop at Benning to get signed in. How does one sign in over in Hawaii?
Sign in while they're getting assigned here?
Yeah.
Okay, so that goes to one of the most important aspects, I think, of leadership, and that's reception and integration into an organization. Because that how we start with, and really with our young soldiers, this kind of shapes who they are for the rest of their career, how short or how long that is. And it's all about taking ownership. So when folks get here right now, I'll talk about the under COVID right now. It's extremely difficult. But we do still have a team that is sitting down at the airport. They'll have a face-to-face with somebody. They will receive them into the organization. And I say organization, so the CG and I also have the senior command role over all the units in Hawaii. So we're talking about all the units in Hawaii when it comes to reception and integration. So we'll receive them, and then they will get, if they're single soldiers, they will get on a bus, and they will come up to our reception company barracks, where they will ROM for 14 days. And we have cadre who bring them 3 meals a day and take care of them. We do at that time as well, instead of getting a sponsor that just filled out a 5434, we get a sponsor that they can actually pick up a phone and call and say, hey, I need something because I don't have enough cadre in the reception company to if somebody wants some extra snacks or some extra water or something, other than what we're able to provide with the cadre.
Right.
Or you can pick up a phone and call a leader in your organization, an actual sponsor that will take care of you, and that'll happen. The folks that come here with their family, the same thing, but they'll move right into their hotel. And the state kind of they try and keep track of everybody. They'll give you a call, make sure you are where you said you're going. You got to show like your reservation at the airport when you get there, and then you do your 14 days of restriction of movement. And then once that's done, right now, well, ever since March, we are going through kind of a shortened end processing. Normally we take about a week and do it right. And I say do it right because there's a lot of things, you take your time and get done right. And if you have to rush, because we want to get them to their units now. So we've got about a shortened 2-day where we get the essentials done, and then we leave the rest on the organizations to work with them once they get to the organizations, because it does come in a lot of space. We're talking about bear space too, because sometimes we'll get a flight of 100 out of some AIT location, and they are coordinating with us to make sure we have the room to do it. But we do get up to almost to capacity at times in the barracks when we're talking about folks being in there for 14 days.
Does it? Hang on. There's a more. I got questions just flinging at me now. Is there anything that a soldier should prepare for JOTC prior to taking? Like jump master, you kind of have to know pre-jump and nomenclature. So is there anything before JOTC that you need to memorize or know?
There absolutely is. The Lieutenant Academy has a page, and then on that page is a link to some YouTube videos where they have, I think it's the 13 knots that'll be tested day one. There is some forms that need to be filled out, and then there's obviously PT that needs to be done, because you get there and the Jungle 5K is not a joke. So there's some terrain in that, and you got 40 minutes to do that 5K, which is 3.1 miles, but it feels a lot worse than that when you're climbing out of the gulches. So knots and make sure they have the packing list and can do some PT. But it is absolutely achievable. I mean, we had one of the USAR Hall units, the 8th MP Brigade here, the last class that we did, the honor graduate was a female MP Staff Sergeant. And she is a top-notch performer. But we also have some of our band members that go out there and are successul. I think that in the past it hasn't been prioritized, and people haven't, stepped out of their comfort zone and gone. But what's good is sometimes some of our folks will go to JOTC and be like, wow, you know what? I never thought I could do that. Now I want to go to CERT, and then I want to go to Ranger School.
Right.
Because they never step out of their comfort zone. And I absolutely, every time we talk about it, encourage people to go out there and just give it a try. It is an absolutely beneficial course, especially when you're assigned here in the Pacific.
Somebody's asked, do you have to pass swimming? Do you have to pass a swim test?
Yes, you do. So, and I'll say it right. It's a Donna ditch where you have your equipment and your weapon, and you go underneath the water, and you got to take your equipment off, and it's just a vest. The other critical event is the 2-minute tread water with your head above water. You don't have to put your hands above water, so you can use your hands to tread, and then you got to do a 50-meter swim in your uniform and boots. It's pretty simple. But I will also say too that while we're not, we're kind of hamstrung with COVID, but we have an outstanding swimming course taught here at our swimming pool, and there's been some high success rates coming out of that. So if you do have concerns with swimming and you are here, get signed up as soon as we open it back up. Get signed up for the swim course that the pool, the Richardson Pool offers.
There's another question here about this one's like, I think more of a strategic question. How much longer will we continue to training towards the wars the armed forces have been past 20 years before moving to a completely near peer threat training? Man, who's asking that? Whose big brain question was that? We're talking about. But anyways, if you want to ask
somebody that doesn't even know what they're listening to.
I was about to say. How will it affect doctrine, battle drills built around the wars of recent? I guess what they're kind of asking is this: how much longer? I guess do you think as the Army or maybe the division, is shifting? I guess moving. I guess because the shift is moving to Indo-PACOM anyway. So
yeah, we are actually shifting right now, and we started with Lightning Forge. So for the longest time, and the CG and I realized this as soon as we got here. For the longest time, everybody was operating, in CENTCOM, and everything they did, they had their IOTV and everything on, no matter where they were, what environment they were in. So we are looking at that now to say, hey, if we go somewhere, it's going to be in the Pacific. It's going to be in the jungle environment. Are we going to be operating like that? No. So how can we be smart about what we're doing? And maybe lighten our load so that we can actually move. We can use cover, like there's trees in the jungle, so you got cover. And then maybe before certain types of missions, or we start testing and stressing our logistical systems and say, hey, I need my body armor at this point in the mission, and I don't need it while I'm moving, 10K to get to there. I don't know if that's so much affecting doctrine, but it's just a way of thinking, and I think a smarter way of doing things. And we're going to do that at JRTC as well.
Right. No, I mean,
there's been.
I'm just saying because that's come on, we've been in environments where we've deployed in environments where wearing the overcumbersome arm gauntlets and side plates and crotch guard, you're just like that's not how we move.
Well, that's honestly leaders that are afraid to make a risk or a decision on risk.
Right.
Because if you look at that, what's truly your ability to be lethal and move to and engage the enemy when you have all that on? Now, I will say there are certain occasions where you absolutely should have all that on. If you're like a gunner, a turret gunner on a patrol, in an area susceptible to IEDs or a lot of enemy contact. But certain missions call for certain things, but a lot of things, especially patrolling. And if you're going on, let's just say a movement to contact or a patrol, you may not need all of that. And you may be more successful if you lighten the load. And so I say lighten the load, but the opportunity I had in my last position, so I was a PEO soldier, Sergeant Major, and that is the organization that develops, acquires, fields, and sustains all that equipment that soldiers use. So there is a lot of good stuff coming. Unfortunately, right now, the 25th is not one of the higher priorities to be on that list right now. I'm still working on getting us higher on the list. When I was there, we were fielding the SFABs and making sure they had all the GWIS equipment. I'm sure you've seen that.
Yep.
But when it comes to body armor, when it comes to weapons, when it comes to night vision, the ability to communicate, see, shoot, move, and communicate is going to be tremendously better here in the near future.
Yeah, I think for what you're facing, I think it's really for you. I mean, you're not slated to rotate anywhere in the desert or Middle East anyway, so your focus, I don't think would require it. You know what I mean?
Right.
On that, tell us about the organization itself. I mean, because I've talked about the light fighters being on airborne status. I've talked about the light fighters having strikers. So can you give us a breakdown of your organization?
I can. So I talked about the ability to deploy and train with our partner nations, but really everybody here, we have the opportunities to train in different countries and learn different cultures, all at the same time while not getting shot at.
Right.
We have a forward presence in the Pacific. We are here for a reason, and matter of fact, we're the only division that's still headquartered in the location where we were first stood up.
Yep.
And it's an ideal place to station forces for the contingency operations in the Pacific, and that's why it's important that all of our light fighters in the division are prepared anytime or anywhere. But we truly have some of the best soldiers and leaders in the Army. They continue to better themselves daily as we work to maintain our equipment, which, by the way, we don't have the newest of equipment, but like I said, that's on its way. It's just on a priority list. But the CG and I witness this on a consistent basis, whether it's, our vehicle and helicopter mechanics working in some of the oldest facilities in the Army, finding ways to keep everything operational, to include probably the oldest vehicle fleet in the Army, or our communicators who don't have the best communication equipment, consistently finding ways to improve communication. And also our food service professionals making it happen every day, regardless of the condition of the facility they work in, or the lack of resources they can get their hands on. And I say that because I truly think our soldiers are the best, because they find the creative ways to create and breed success. Much of the success across the division also can be attributed to the incredible amount of teamwork. And we say this on a consistent basis, but across the divisional leadership across all echelons, the teamwork, and it's like we will, we witness the units supporting one another as an opportunity to make the division whole with large, and not just as a tasking. It may get sent out as tasking, but then it's an opportunity to make the division better, and that's one of the greatest assets of this division is the teamwork. As a matter of fact, after our last JRTC rotations, one of the current Army senior leaders made the comment that was one of the best rotations he had seen by a brigade in a long time. And that's because our leaders know how to train, fight, win, sustain, and maintain. We talk about some of the facilities. I guess I can ramble on. But,
no, I was about to ask you about some of the facilities. I guess there was some concern about some mold issues there. What's up with that?
Yeah. So obviously we live in a temperate zone. There's a lot of humidity here, but with the facilities, you'll often hear people talk about the facilities at the 25th, i.e. the barracks are substandard, or the dyna facilities maybe serve bad food, or we have some challenges, but they're no different than any other installation. I mean, any other installation that I've been a part of, and many others. Everybody has their own challenges.
Right.
But one of the challenges we have here is the cost that it takes to fix things, and the area cost analysis, because if you give, this is just an example, you give Fort Bragg, they need $100,000 to build a new barracks building. Well, we can only build 2/3 of that building here. But what I can tell you is that improving the facilities is a top priority for the CG and I both. And we have multiple plans out. We're exploring options to modernize the barracks, the dyna facilities, the motor pools, the hangars, and the company operations facilities, to include the capabilities of our range complex, because we don't have the best range complexes. But again, that ties back to how we have the best leaders, because the leaders are figuring out the ways to make it happen.
Right.
And not to get deep on area beautification, because everybody likes to talk about area beautification. But
you're a CSM, man.
Well, but truly, on that note, what we want is for soldiers and families to work and to live in a place that they're proud of.
Right.
When I drove through this gate in November, it looked the same as it did when I got here in 1996. So we're talking about modernization, and actually it's not just equipment, it's facilities, it's the the look of the installation. It's everything that goes along with that. So, and because I made a comment on our DFACs, I will, our DFACs are serving some pretty amazing food right now. The CG and I eat at one of them once a week. And right now, it's you can grab and go because you can't sit down in there anymore. But, we do have some of the most recent Colony Cup winners when it comes to the dining facilities. But firsthand knowledge that our food is great, and I'll just reiterate that our food service professionals are some of the best in the Army. So if you disagree with that, maybe you're going to the wrong place to eat, or you need to get away from Burger King and the chicken place, Popeyes. But we also just brought on board a new food truck, which we call the Outpost, which is providing opportunities, and units are able to get on and schedule it whenever they have a training event, and they can get. But you think food truck, you and I probably both think gut truck.
Yeah. And
some of the worst fried foods ever, but there's nothing fried. There's an air fryer, but we ate at it last week, and there's some really good food, and it's easy to use, and it's really pretty fast. So I think there's gonna be an opportunity to help increase the not only the fitness but the health of the force.
But
at soldiers that go to the dining facility, they just scan their meal card, and they can eat there for free instead of going to the chow hall.
I noticed that it's pretty modern. Hang on, I think I got someone just sent me an image of it, and it's from what I've seen, it's modernized. You could walk up and touch screen and all that, and I mean, pretty impressive. Do they serve tacos there? I mean, you guys got tacos in that truck, or is that a taco truck as well?
I don't know. They had an Asian bowl, and the CG and I had a panini, and I tried out I splurged, and I got some air fries that day just to see. We're trying to test everything and see what it was like, but it was really pretty good. I was surprised, and I had those things, and it was less than what it cost to go to the chow hall and eat, regardless of what I ate at the chow. You can go to the chow hall and probably eat a little bit more, but
right,
a lot of us don't need to.
Right.
So the less of the cost of the chow hall, you can run by the food truck and get.
There are some that don't need to.
Yes.
There are some.
They need to do more. They need to do more Lightning 7 challenges.
I was about to say they need to do more Lightning 7 challenges. This is some of the things someone's making fun of me because of course I always default to taco trucks, and they say, "Ken, it's Hawaii. Come on." I mean, they got Mexican food right there over on the island. Do they? I mean,
they do. They have the taco trucks up there with the shrimp trucks on the North Shore,
right? And
I think on a couple other sides. But there's actually one of the best Mexican places that we've had is Surf and Salsa, and that's a food truck up there in what's that town up there? Anyway, up on North Shore.
Yeah, up on North.
Oliva.
Yeah. The CSM is not advocating. He's just merely talking about one of the many establishments that we at WTF Nation Radio, Summers and Devotes, we're more than happy to advocate for you, Sergeant Major. We'll go check it out.
Yes. I said it was one of the best.
Yeah. There's a couple more questions about the when a soldier shows up there. Will TLA, because this is a PCS question here, will TLA cover the whole 14 days of ROM if a soldier's going there with their family?
It does, and we had to do a waiver to impact this, but it absolutely will, and so everybody will be covered because it's not to no fault of their own that they're being told to ROM for 14 days in a hotel. So
right,
and there's also there's waivers and extensions that can be applied for if you haven't, for some reason, found a house and you have certain challenges. But it's covering everything right now.
Okay, there you go. That's one question. Somebody else dropped a question of what strength and weaknesses did you observe in the last 25th ID Warfighter? I think someone's asking for a Green Book AR, aren't they?
They probably are. But how many have you been through a Warfighter?
Yeah, I mean everyone's been through a warfighter. I mean it's
that was the CG and I's first one, both of us.
Yeah, it's a warfighter. I mean, if there's going to be some weaknesses and strength, especially if you're new to the organization and do shit different.
I'll thought I was good at warfighting, and then I went through a warfighter, and it was challenging. But I think that the challenges were the communications platforms that we have to set up, in the division main, and to communicate with each other. And I think the staff did a great job. But when we get new equipment in between, we do training events up to that. And the last one we had a different system than they were using during the warfighter. And then we had, obviously, the CG and I both came in new, so the staff was trying to figure out what his priorities were. I really think we did pretty good. We did just communicate better, and then work to use the platforms that we have a little bit more efficiently.
Right.
And then just the battle rhythm stuff. But when we talk about, I don't want to get into that.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's just for you, it was probably eye-opening. Now, real quick, give us a background of where you come from, man. I mean, we've talked about your organization a lot. Let's talk about. I know you got some Ranger Regiment times and USASOC time. We probably chewed some dirt together on some stuff.
Might have, but I'm not important here. I'm trying to get the reach out for the division, but so when I and the CG does the same thing, but when we talk to leaders and we talk about ourselves, I think it's important for all leaders to kind of start with why. And that was a great book. I'm not endorsing it, but that's a great book. So when we talk about why we serve, many of us came in the military for one reason, and that's absolutely not the reason why we continue to serve today. I come from a very small town in Northern California, a large mixed family. We didn't have any money really. And I fought my way to get through high school. I happened to be the only one to graduate high school in our family of 6 kids. But I didn't have a whole lot. I had a great girlfriend whom I got pregnant. By the way, she's been my wife for 25 years. But I didn't know what I was going to do. I saw, like I said, everybody has a different reason for coming in the military. I saw a recruiting commercial, and you know what? I was like, that's it. So I walked a few miles, and I can't remember the mileage, but it was a few miles to the recruiting station. So I joined the military because I had nothing, and I needed something. So, after a year at Campbell, really 6 months after we were there, we got orders to come here. We're here for 3 years. Really enjoyed what I was doing. Went to Ranger school from here. I had a Ranger buddy from the Ranger Regiment during Ranger school. He's like, "Hey, you need to come to the regiment." So after I got back from school, came back to Hawaii, decided to re-enlist and continue serving. And at that time, I continued serving because the Army had provided life for my family and I, purpose.
Right.
So I almost felt like I owed the Army another enlistment just for that. And I really did enjoy what I was doing. So I re-enlisted to assess and join the ranks of the Ranger Regiment, and was afforded the awesome opportunity to serve there for the next 18 years. Obviously, a lot of stuff happened during those 18 years. And during that time, my reason to continue to serve changed again, as many of ours did. And, as all of us know, tomorrow marks the 19-year anniversary of that tragic attack. Yep. That changed all of our lives. So I continue to serve today for those that used to fight to my left and right and never made it back home. I serve in honor of those whom have paid the ultimate sacrifice for our great nation. I say we owe it to them to continue to train the next generation and enable them to deploy, fight, and win our nation's battles. And we owe it to them to destroy the enemy. So that's why I continue to serve now. But after I was a Ranger Battalion CSM, I was afforded the opportunity to serve at the brigade level as a garrison CSM, and that was at Fort Benning. That completely opened my eyes. I can honestly tell you, when that CSL came out, I was like throwing chairs. Like, what did I do? But I was able to adapt and kind of, I'm truly here to serve. So whatever the Army needs, I never asked for a certain position. So I'm here to serve. It was like, what the heck? Because, it was natural progression. You go to an IBCT or an ABCT. but that was probably one of the best decisions the Army made for me. I can tell you that now. For a while I questioned it, but it absolutely shaped who I am as a leader today, because I had to learn a lot about the Army and installation management. And in the end, it really comes down to people and how we enable our team to take care of people. So that was just an awesome opportunity. Like I said, didn't see it going in, but absolutely after a couple months saw it as and I talked about the opportunity I had at Belvoir.
Right.
I was up there for 18 months learning about Army acquisition. Again, not typical. Like, who goes from, 22 years of doing what you do to now MCOM and then to Army acquisition. But nothing to complain about, because look where I am today.
Right.
And I know a little bit more about the Army, and I know a little bit about myself because of the opportunities that the Army gave me. So that's kind of who I am and why I am here today.
We appreciate you coming on, man. So what's your take on the this is one of my questions that I can finally get in there too. Social media has been pretty I guess visible in the news lately. What's your advice for those junior leaders that like to go on TikTok, or what's your advice for them? You know what I'm talking about.
I will. I think every social media platform is designed for a reason, and
right.
and it has a purpose. But I think that people just need to understand what the purpose of those are. I think that some of our junior soldiers and our junior leaders just need to think twice before they do what they do, and they need to seek education. Like, a lot of people do some griping and send some posts to right. Where I'm sure you guys see it all the time.
Yeah.
I personally, I'm on Facebook because I have kids and grandkids. There's a way to communicate, and both my kids and grandkids are at Fort Benning. And I didn't say that, but we are an Army family. My son's a squad leader in the regiment, and my son-in-law is an infantry lieutenant there at Benning. So I'll give a shout out to them if they're listening too. But social media is what it is. I've always been. And I think you can understand with our backgrounds why we've been against social media.
Yes.
You're never taking pictures. You never do anything. You never have memories. Stay away from social media. You're going to leave in the middle of the night. You're going to come back in the middle of the night.
Yep.
But I am, for what it's for, to inform and influence while we communicate, I think there are absolutely benefits to some social media platforms. And I probably need to get on more, and I haven't done that yet, but here I am today.
Now you broke the seal, man. Now you're out here hanging out. You're like I was just telling Spanky about our reach. Somebody was just asking me about reach, and then I looked on the page just now. We just clocked in at let's see how many people did we reach today? Now we just clocked in at 8.9 million. So.
8.9 million people that
have
are
reached
now come to the 25th Infantry Division.
So you're not going to. How's that? What are you talking about? That is one hell of a area beautification detail, man. And post engagements have been 12 million. So people are definitely going to hear this out, man. And this is going to be awesome. Again, we really appreciate you coming on, Sergeant Major. Do you have anything else you want to say before we take a break?
No, I think one thing important that I didn't talk about that is important. We talked about reception integration, but everything starts with the number one priority for the CG&I is creating and cultivating a culture of trust within the division, where every soldier, department, Army, civilian, and family member is treated with dignity and respect from day one. That is very important. And then the other one is families. One of the most important aspects to take care of our soldiers is ensuring that we take care of their families and understand any struggles that they may be going through. I personally learned this early on and have kept it with me through our career, but families are absolutely a priority to the CG&I. Like I said before, our op tempo may be high, but the expectation, we're not tracking every 4 day that everybody gets, but the expectation is that all of our light fighters get compensated for their time and they have time with their families. He and I both absolutely understand, and we'll point blank tell you that we wouldn't be where we are today without our families, especially our spouses. So shout out to you, babe. I know you're listening. And then lastly, you got to have fun with what you're doing. If you're not having fun, find something else to do. I am having fun.
And with that, Command Sergeant Major William or Billy Pouliot of the 25th Infantry Division. We're going to go ahead and take a break. Sergeant Major, could you hang out for us for a little bit so we can talk some other admin stuff?
Absolutely. Thank you, Ice and Spanky.
All right. We'll be right back. So everyone refill your glasses and go to the latrine. We'll be right back. Shots.
Wear a condom? We're in Fayetteville. No one gets STDs here.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects and mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
please enjoy the show. Shots.
Dan, we're back. Wow. Man, we were like we were rattling on from the break all the way to now.
Right?
We're just like, we're all of us.
Like, where's my brain?
Yeah, we're all sergeanting. We're all having all that deep dive NCOing stuff going on. It was awesome. Thanks again, man, for coming on. Appreciate you guys and 25th ID and Command Sergeant Major Pouliot to shoot the shit with us and show us wares. That's awesome. The 25th ID, man. I think if you are in the U.S. Army right now, man, I wish. You know what? I'm going to tell you a story. Right before I got injured and I got retired, I retired medically. Yes, I'm medically retired. I was supposed to go there.
You're allowed.
I'm allowed. I was supposed to go there. So, but I know.
I want to go to try out those food trucks they were talking about.
I want to go try the gut trucks. Yeah, exactly. Go check out them gut trucks. And go do some jungle school and Iowa Jersey. Hang on. Oh, it looks like a Hawaii phone number. WTF Nation Radio, you're on the air.
Definitely do have a jungle school guy.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, how's it going? It's First Sergeant Marcus.
What's going on, First Sergeant? You get here to give us the streets about the CSM now?
Yeah, I'm the Lightning Academy person out there. I don't know if I'm on the air or whatnot.
You are on the air.
Put some notes down.
You are on the air, man. Go for it. Yeah, go for it. Matter of fact, let me put your jungle tab back up there, man. Here, let me get your all symbol back up because I had the jungle tab. Let me get this. So you're First Sergeant Marcus, the first sergeant of Jungle School. There we go. How about that?
Yeah, Lightning Academy.
Lightning Academy.
Yeah, we got Jungle School. We got our SMART unit, Ranger Tactics. We got Air Assault School, Spies for Eyes, Rappel Master. But I thought maybe this was kind of a show where I could just put a little note in, and you might
go for it. Oh no, this is Sergeant's time, man. This is what this forum is all about. Go for it. What you got, man?
Awesome. No, I just really wanted to give a thanks to Sergeant Major Pouliot. Honest to goodness, so I just hit 20 years about 2 weeks ago. He afforded me the opportunity to be the first sergeant out at Lightning Academy, 25th Infantry Division. And I just wanted to say, thank you to Sergeant Major Pouliot. He's the best damn Command Sergeant Major I've ever worked for in 20 years. He's inspired me as an NTO. He's inspired the soldiers across the division and hopefully across the Army by actually taking that step and coming to the Jungle Operations Training Course that we offer here at the 25th Infantry Division. And it's just, I honestly thought I was going to hang it up, and just seeing how he leads by example, not by words, but by example. I've had that discussion with the wife, and it's been a tough discussion, but after working for and by with and through Sergeant Major Pouliot, we've actually said, hey, you know what? Let's give it a shot. And let's lead by example, because that's what NTOs do, right? We want to lead by example.
That's right.
And I want to thank Sergeant Major Pouliot for being an inspiration to me, and hopefully to our NCOs and our young soldiers across the division, for just showing what right looks like and just getting after it. And so, Sergeant Major Pouliot, if you're still on the line. He's those that are listening.
No, we had to kick him off, man. He was talking too much, bro. He was not just kidding. He was most down one of the most down to earth leaders we've had before. We've ran into each other before, but I will say that yeah, I mean, just we have had generals. We've only had one other CSM, and that was Command Sergeant Major Jeremiah Gann. And he was the sergeant major for Fort Jackson and the U.S. Army Training Center, and so that he is the second Sergeant Major Pouliot is the second CSM that we've had on here, And he's come on here to talk about, I mean, everyone else that's talked about the organizations has been 2-stars. So he came out here and just knocked it out of the park, man. That was awesome.
Yeah, no, it's phenomenal. I got a lot of my junior enlisted guys that are listening into this. I got my command teams listening into this.
Awesome.
We have the HHBN and DeVarty command teams that are listening to this, and you know, it's phenomenal that we're able to spread our message as leaders across so many different mediums. And again, I was just wanted to reach out and say, hey, you guys we all were so fortunate to hear him this evening, just be down to earth and just be a dude and talk to us about everything we're going through today. And that's what I so appreciate, you know, about Command Sergeant Major Pouliot, is that he's a man first. You know, he can relate to you guys. He can relate to all of us. He's phenomenal. He's a phenomenal leader. He's an inspiration, you know, specifically to me, and hopefully to the rest of us that are like, maybe do I not want to keep trudging along. But no, he's phenomenal. So I appreciate you guys giving me an opportunity to, you know, give a shout out to my boss, and but a shout out to everybody, you know, that's listening on your guys' forum. I mean, it's phenomenal, and I really appreciate what you guys do.
Well, you know, Top, anytime you want to, you send us videos, because I put some Lightning Academy vids and stuff on there at the intro, and then I always put the intro video in the beginning and in the end of the segment. So when we're coming off the air here in about 45 minutes or so, or about 30 minutes, 15 minutes, I don't know what time you want to cut out, Smeggy. You want to sham? Do you want to zonk? Since it's been so much. I mean, you've been.
I mean, it's been a while, so we can do the whole 3 hours.
We can hold the whole 3 hours. Okay, cool. All right. So usually the beginning of the show, at the end of the show, especially if there's a unit coming on, I will redo your HUA video, I guess you would say, your motivational video. So I put Lightning Academy stuff on there. I put freaking artillery shit going off. I put grunts jumping around. I put that. There's a sustainer that is riding in the back of a Chinook, and he just jumps out of the tailgate, rappels down to do the resupply on a ship. And I just think that was shit like that's badass. That's Army shit. You know, you talk about you coming on here and to tell me this stuff is what keeps us doing this. This is what it's all about. This is the network of veterans and retirees supporting our brothers and sisters that are still in. You wanted to stay in, man. That's bonus. That's money. I mean, that's the way I see it. Your soldiers are going to hear this. I'm hearing this. This makes me proud as a non-commissioned officer to hear another senior NCO say, hey, this guy inspired me. I want to stay in because this is what I want to do. Not one time did I hear you say anything about yourself. You want to do it for the troops. You want to do it for your unit. You want to do it for your country. Bro, that's what it's all about, man.
Absolutely.
That's what it's all about.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, Mama asked, hey, you know, you can retire today. And I said, yeah, but I have guys that look up to me.
Oh, my God, dude. I feel you.
There's a mission that still needs to be had.
I feel you.
I'm not walking away from that.
I feel you. Hey,
I'm not walking away from that.
How many years are you at right now?
I'm sitting at 20 right now.
You're sitting at 20, bro. In a blink, like me, 29 years blew by for me. I was like, huh? What? I was wait, what? it'll go by fast. And it probably has gone fast.
The first 20 went like that.
Yep. You just blink and you're like, holy shit. The rest is just fun now.
Exactly. You know, but it's fun, but it's challenging. And one of the sentiments that I always say to my guys is, and this is why I might have put a Facebook post on when we were doing the podcast, you guys were doing the podcast, lifelong learner. The day you think you got it figured out is the day you got to hang it up. But guess what? I'm always learning. I'm learning every day, even during all the stuff that's going on out here, you know, on Oahu and stuff like that. I'm learning every day, and I'm trying to better myself and be a steward of the profession. And I'm trying to impress that upon, you know, the leaders within my organization and whomever else I have influence on. You know, just keep learning.
Right. I was just corrected.
You never know who you're going to influence.
Exactly. I was just corrected. We had Command Sergeant Major John Wayne Troxel. We had Sergeant Major Troxel, the senior enlisted advisor to the Chief of Staff, the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs. He called out somebody a straight punk bitch on air, man. This old retired CSM.
I'm very familiar with Sergeant Major Troxel. Very familiar with Sergeant Major Troxel.
He's
Yeah.
So I take that back. So
Very
now,
familiar.
yeah. So Sergeant Major Pouliot is the third CSM. I think I was speaking more of a unit as opposed to having a CSM on. Because most units always have their generals or their officers come in and speak. You know what I mean? But yeah, this is what I'm talking about. So, did you just get there? Did you just become the first sergeant at the Lightning Academy?
So I've been fortunate enough. Some might think it's not fortunate, but this is my fourth time being stationed in Hawaii in the last 20 years. I've served in every infantry regiment in the division, minus the Wolfhounds, unfortunately. But yes, this is my fourth time here. I actually showed back up in August of 2019, coming from Maryland. Spent about 4.5 years over at Asymmetric Warfare Group.
Nice.
And so when I showed up over here, was afforded the opportunity with Brigadier General Womack introducing me to Command Sgt Major Pouliot, and was afforded the opportunity to be the first sergeant for the Lightning Academy.
That's what I'm talking about, dude. That's so. So you already talked to the old lady about staying in longer? You already said, hey, we're staying in?
I mean, she looks at me side-eye right now.
I was about to say, is she on air? Is she listening to you? Can she see you having this conversation? Run, dude, run.
Definitely. No. Definitely. No. She's the end-all be-all. She gets the final say. But no,
right.
we've actually had that conversation. And I've actually referenced when Command Sergeant Major Pouliot was going through the jungle course, and then talking to my instructors and talking to the students out there, and just having their candid feedback saying he's phenomenal. He's
right.
just one of the guys. He treats us as one of the guys, and we're feeding off of him.
Right. No, I hear you, man.
Jungle school, this thing sucks. But you have a division sergeant major out here going through this, and
right.
and he's sucking with us.
Right.
And I'm looking at him going, man, I don't want to do that again. But that's what we do as leaders.
That's right.
We don't ask anybody to do something that we're not going to do, and so that's
right.
what he did. He put himself out there, and he put himself in, in the swamps, and he put himself, in the rivers and in the jungle. And I said, and he's articulate, and he's down to earth, and I'm just like, why wouldn't I want to be that leader?
Right, exactly. Hey, so is it true that if you do JOTC, you don't have to worry about getting quarantined? You're cured of the Rona?
Oh, geez. I mean, I don't want to overstep my bounds, because the dip surge might say, hey, first sergeant, you can't say that on the air, and
right.
so on and so forth. So I'll respectfully decline that question.
Oh man, that's too funny. So how are you handling it though? I mean, has it been easier for you guys? I mean, I know there's probably some mitigations and stuff like that, but what's the deal for you guys?
We've done an absolutely great job over here, in concert with the division, with User Hall and with User Pack, ensuring that we still have the capability to train our light fighters. Even though all of this stuff is going on out here, with recommendations and mitigations, we're still being able to train the light fighters out here at the Lightning Academy, and still producing the most lethal and ready light fighters that the division can offer. And that has all been based off of analysis and approvals, and the decision makers. And no, yes, it's been tough, but we're still being able to do it.
That's what I'm talking about, man. Well, hey, we got Screenshot Madness coming up in a minute. We're about ready to bust some commands out for posting some crazy shit on emails and screenshots. So real quick, so you just got, wait a minute, somebody just said, how'd you luck out to get, you said the fourth time you've been in Hawaii?
Yeah.
4 times in Hawaii? Did you just happen, or did you talk to somebody, or just luck of the draw? How does that work? Did you choose it?
So I was taught a long time ago by my first recon platoon sergeant in 2nd Battalion, 35th Infantry Regiment, Command Sergeant Major retired Sean Bradley, who actually, when I was in 2001, he was my recon platoon sergeant, who ended up being my group CSM when I was over in Maryland. He told me, he said, if you want to be the master of your own destiny, go to Ranger School. Go to Ranger School, and you can dictate the rest of your life in the military. And so 18 months after I joined the military, he sent me to Ranger School. And from then on, I was able to call, you know, whatever phone number back then, before we had cell phones.
Yeah.
You know, hey, I'd like to go here. And they'd say, okay, you're a E4 EIB Airborne Air Assault Ranger. Yep, you can go here. And then I said, okay, I'm going to re-enlist. And I said, okay, I'm going to E5 Airborne Air Assault, you know, EIB Pathfinder Ranger. Yeah, you can go here. And then the next one was, okay, and you just, you know, you did all the hard stuff when you were young, because
right
when you're 40 years old, it's a little bit harder to get out of the chair.
Right. No, I hear
so
you.
You knock all that stuff out when you're young, and I was afforded the opportunity to
if you
fall
got
under
bro,
Ranger branch.
Yeah, if you got it, man. That's what would you do? No, man, you should suck. You need to suck like everybody else. You know
Exactly.
Oh, no way, dude.
Yeah.
No, if everyone, I guarantee it, there's somebody else that was in your position, they would have done the same damn thing. Yeah. I did that same thing when I was
I had great mentors back in the day.
Exactly. It was the same way when I was stationed in Germany. When I was stationed in Germany, it was the same way. Hey, did you want to stay here? You move? Yeah, I can go ahead and do that. Well, you realize it's going to incur another 3-year tour. Oh, wow. Shucks. Okay. Who cares? You know what I mean? Shit.
Right.
Hey, so real quick, tell us the deets on wearing the jungle tab. What do you know so far about it being authorized to wear permanently, as opposed to just being in the unit? Because I have people asking me about the jungle tab.
I can't speak above my pay grade.
Right.
But Lightning Academy has been in the process for quite some time now of making this an all Army thing.
Right.
I know right now, per Division Command Sergeant Major Pouliot, that the jungle tab, if you come through our 12-day course, it is authorized for Indo-PACOM.
Got it.
So Indo-PACOM. And we are working with all of the other entities to hopefully get this to be a recognized Army tab.
No, yeah, just like Ranger School, just like Sapper. Yeah, I got you, man. I hear you. I mean, it's an opportunity like this. It's kind of cool. Everyone's like wanting to go to jungle school now.
Yeah, there's a lot of effort. There's a lot of. I mean, I was here when, the initiative came about, when there was a capability gap identified back in 2013, 2014 within the division, and it said, hey, we need to stand up a jungle school. And so, I was fortunate enough to be a part of that initiative back, in those early stages, and what it was then to what it is today completely blew my mind when I showed back up. And it's a phenomenal course. It's a challenging course. It'll, it teaches you what you need to know to, live, survive, and thrive in the jungle. The tactics portion, you should already know, but we touch on that, but it's survive, win, and live in the jungle.
Right.
And the topography of what is Oahu right now, and it gets after it. It definitely gets after it.
I can imagine, dude. I could even imagine. Well, I mean, the CSM said that nothing in the island could kill you. I mean, except probably for water. I mean, that will probably, if you drown or something like that, that'd be fucked up. Because I know you guys have to wade through some rivers in some of your training. I've been following your guys' timeline. your different days, when you guys do your day drops on on video, and they're pretty good. They're pretty high speed videos too. So, so I saw the rope crossing, and I was like, oh shit, you better learn how to swim. So do you really have to swim? Do you really have to learn how to swim? Because I know some people that I would love to throw them in the fucking water that I can't stand. I want to make sure they get their opportunity to go to JOTC so that way they don't make it. Is it really a pass-fail, or is it just kind of like, yeah, he doesn't know how to swim?
No, it's definitely a part of the requirement to get into JOTC.
Mm-hmm.
We have a advanced combat water survival assessment.
Okay.
Prior to the students starting the course, and it literally, because the videos that you watched, that is why there's a requirement, because we do boat capsizing, we do water crossing, they're in the waterways a lot. There's a lot of littoral ops that we conduct throughout the course, and so one of the prereqs is for them to pass that ACWSA. And so if we identify weak swimmers at that point, because of the, the littoral ops that we do and the potential for them to, because I don't know if you've been to Hawaii, but
your lady giving you a side eye or something like that? You got distracted for a minute there. Just messing with you, man.
No, not at all. Actually, yeah, kind of. No, but if it's raining out here, the current in those rivers, there's current,
right?
And so we need to ensure that the soldiers are safe. We need to ensure that they can definitely protect themselves and protect their buddies as they're conducting these operations, because it's not a me thing.
Right.
It's definitely not a me thing. It's just like Ranger School. You're not going to pass Ranger School by yourself. You're not going to pass Jungle School by yourself. You have to rely on your Ranger buddy and your Jungle buddy. And so we need to ensure that they're capable of at a minimum, passing our ACWSA.
Awesome. Well, hey, man, thanks for Sergeant Marcus for shooting the shit with us and giving us the other side of Jungle School or / the Lightning Academy, man. Wish you the best, man, and kick ass. Keep dropping the videos, man. We'll throw some shares out for you.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. Yeah, this was totally unexpected. Again, like I said, thought I was going to do like a little snippet like I do with Rush Limbaugh and just throw it out there, and then it just gets thrown up. But you caught me on a good day.
It's all right, man. You're
we
good.
Don't chop it up either.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah, exactly. So, and it's all recorded anyway. So, when you said, "Hey, I hope I'm not being recorded," nah, you're being recorded.
Great. I gotta call my.
You got to call your PAO. Call the PAO and said that. Yeah, call the PAO. Said that you threw some tidbits in there too, but it was all good. Matter of fact, you're all good to go. Matter of fact, we'll even vouch for you, bro. We'll say it.
I appreciate that.
All right, man. Have a good one.
Hey, thank you so much. You guys have a blessed day, and God bless America, and God bless those that lost their lives tomorrow, remembering the tragic day that is 9/11. So
all the way, man.
God bless you guys.
Absolutely.
All right, brother. Thanks for calling, bro.
Thank you so much.
Yep. Have a good. All right, that was First Sergeant Marcus. That was the first sergeant of the Lightning Academy, giving us a little rundown, shooting the breeze with us and all that. That's kind of cool, man. I've got 25th ID magic all over the place, man. What's up with that? Man.
I mean, they're out to spread their message.
They're ready to go. Hey, yeah. Hey, you know what? I don't mind that. You could use us. You could use us as messaging, platforms. That's what we're here for. That's what I'm talking about.
We need leaders from other posts to come tell us what's great about it.
Yeah, we need other leaders.
While we were on, I'm not gonna lie, I had to go away for a minute because I heard gunshots.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Wow.
You know where I live. So yeah, and then I had to because I heard them, and I'm like, well, it's cold out. They're probably traveling further or whatever. And it was about a half a mile away at the most, because I looked at my Nosy Neighbors app that everybody's on there. Hey, this is where they're at this street and this street. I'm like, all right, it's far enough away. I'm okay. And I had my back window open.
Right. So you heard some today. So you heard some
yeah,
some balazos out there. You didn't hear
right. So I'm like, all right, it's a normal occurrence here. I usually just don't hear it from my house.
Man. Oh, okay. All right. Well,
so everything's good.
Yeah, I'm about to say, just make sure everything's all right. I want to make sure.
I did. I wouldn't make sure everything was good, and I'm like, all right.
Okay.
So yeah, I had to step away, but I did hear everything that he was saying.
Okay, good. Did you take any notes Lord. So that way we can tell Sergeant Major Pouliot?
Right.
We had so real. This is going to be an abridged version of a Screenshot Madness. We only got a couple screenshots to blast out. Hey, leaders, real quick. This is Sergeant's time, right? You got to make sure that you're doing things that are not illegal as hell when it violates a soldier's rights when it comes to illegal search and seizure. Kind of like the amendment or Constitution or like some rights or something like that.
Probably have some experts that'll let you know.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, we have had the judge come about and educate some leaders. And this one right here is a mondo legal stuff that you should not be doing. If you're telling your soldiers to do this, then there's something of an issue. Remember, now of course we've had a CSM coming on and shooting the breeze with us. There's policies that CSMs do not write. There is no such thing as a CSM policy. There is something that the CSM can do to enforce policy that a commander has written down. So I just tell you what, let me just do the first Screenshot Madness here. So a message from the CSM. It's been brought to my attention that troopers within our regiment have been violating the geo mileage radius with an approved pass or leave request by an 05. So that being said, I would like for you platoon sergeants and squad leaders to pin drop their locations to verify where they are at. Did you hear that shit? Pin drop. So we had soldiers talking about, is this legal and stuff like that, and all the admins, this was fun, all the admins gave screenshots. We provided screenshots on our own phone for the persons who submitted this stuff, and we gave them back. We said, here, send this screenshot. Some of them was at Sharky's, some of them was at like all the strip clubs. So some of it was in North Korea. so we were doing it from all of our phones. Yeah, so it was hilarious. And so there were some squad leaders that kind of had the ass that we were providing assistance to the WTF Nation about this. I need a status of anyone.
I wanted to say, someone teach the Sergeant Major how it works.
Yeah.
You can make your phone say you're anywhere.
Yeah.
I used to play Pokemon Go. I know this.
Yeah, we know how to do this. So it was like, I need to drop a pin location of where they're at. And I think, So he needed a status of anyone outside the mileage radius, no later than 1430. If troopers are out of the mileage radius without an approved pass or leave form, that trooper is subject to UCMJ action. UCMJ action. I like that. UCMJ action. That sounds like something you'd find on Pornhub. Hey, I want to check out UCMJ. I want to find out UCMJ action. Oh, UCMJ.
You could probably search that and then probably come up with something.
Right.
I might do that later for research.
Yeah, I'm about to say, just for science. I heard you're outside the radius. Oh, what radius are you talking? That's a violation of a general order. So report your section status no later than 1430. The Sergeant Major likes to repeat himself. And ensure all troopers acknowledge and understand the restrictions and travel bans. Basically, drop a pin of where you're at. Basically, you can't do that. There's some... Can we do the clap? We do the clap emoji? Clap, clap, clap. Basically, you can't do that. So we were sending...
I get it. If he has an issue and he knows this is going on, okay, pushing it down to platoon sergeant squad leader level. Hey, where are your kids?
Right.
Okay. It's when you get all I need you to use your phone to do your location, and don't teach people not to do that. So
right.
I'm I know I've taken classes. Oh, you shouldn't have your location on. You shouldn't this. You shouldn't that.
Right.
Because I'm an FBI person. If I get a hold of your phone, I can tell you exactly where you've been.
Right. That's about to say.
Everywhere.
We have
how long you were there.
When we have OPSEC Monkey helping us out, and we're like, hey, find out this person right here. Oh my God. Cases usually end up being bad. I don't for instance, when somebody is like, hey, I want to know where my soldiers are at, blah, 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 blah. And then we what the fuck you been doing? Because we search too. We'll look at it and go, OPSEC Monkey will come across, hey, this guy needs to shut up and mind his business because his business isn't good. If he wants to talk crap about where people are at. So this next one This next one here has to be either a former Marine or some sappers or something like that in their organization, because this next screenshot is stop picking the fucking paint off the building. They were painted less than a week ago and already fucked up. If you get, I mean, it's a misspell. If you get fought doing that, hey troop, if you get fought doing that, will recommend UCMJ, the course response, Roger, stop picking the fucking paint. You guys eating it?
I mean, listen to how that message got sent out.
Right.
They're probably all paint eaters.
Yeah. Exactly.
Our feet are so
I'm about to say, where are we at? I got to find out what unit this was from. I got to ask the main page. Hey, where does this? Who was the submitter of this? What organization was this? Was this like a tanker unit or something like that? I know what you're talking about. Shut up.
And let's not even get into the fact that if they were painted less than a week ago, the paint should not be chipping unless whoever did it fucked it up.
Right, exactly. I just think it's fucking hilarious because of the fact that, yeah. So, anyways, let's see what we got some other ones here too. So the next screenshot, Manus, is from the Tenderage, from an MP unit. Oh boy, probably is. What's up? Ice loves MPs. Never had any problem. We rarely have any issues. Yeah, exactly.
Ice does love MPs. Somebody has to.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not Spanky.
Ice loves MPs.
I like y'all.
Oh yeah, MPs are raw. Anyways, great memories of MPs. What was I saying? Oh yeah. So this next one is, it looks like it's a Tinder. It's a Tinder account. Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. But we've been. I don't want to say we have accounts to like get people, not to get people in trouble, but we laugh at people when we get one submitted, and we have to verify because of course there are individuals that say that are on this specific platform. We have to verify. So we have our shadow accounts that go out and go bam. Yeah, this is a legit Tinder account. And then we're not trolling them, but it's used for verification. So anything that comes into the inbox at U.S. Army WTF Moments and WTF Nation Radio, it's protected. Anything that's in their DMs as well. So it's protected info. But of course, if someone says, "Hey, look at this Tinder profile. It says this, 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 and this," well, we have to verify. We have to vet. So of our Tinder accounts that we have many of, we'll look and say, "Okay, is this legit?" No, oh yeah, well, it is. So that's all it's there for verification purposes, unquote. Quote. I'm gonna do some air quotes right there. Some of our admins have Grindr accounts because they are of the LGBT community. So a lot of that too is when we saw this, one of the admins said, who was LGBTQ, said, yeah, that person better be careful because they both have the same boyfriends. If that makes any sense. And yeah, so one's on Grindr, one's on Tinder, both page, and yeah, so it's like we don't want to get in that drama. That's a civil matter. We just like to clown you to verify. Funny as shit though. It's hell. So this is verified. Hi, my name is blank blank, and I'm a 25-year-old soldier in the Army, and I like to sleep around with everyone and spread STDs like chlamydia and a few other things. I like to play around with the girls and take advantage of them. If you're into that, let's hang out.
Swapping?
Yeah, exactly. This is what they do. Yeah, a Tinder account of excellence. That's right. We are all into the social media exploitation of Tinder accounts. I also have a son and a baby on the way, but hey, just let me know if you're ready to fuck around. P.S. I'm currently married and I'm on 11 Bravo, so come find me if you want to play dirty. Yes, verified.
Oh, children,
yes.
children.
And what the funniest part about it is that the responses are usually from people that you would not expect to respond to some of these kind of accounts. You better secure your Snapchats. US Army WTF Moments has some of them too, and we love seeing snaps. Okay, look, I was telling a friend of mine that sometimes there is an inception moment, and that sometimes a meme or something like that I will have seen on one of our accounts will come back to us in our inbox, or will come back to us in a Snapchat, or will come back to us like that. We get approximately 1,500 messages a week, okay? And the admin's got to go through that. I'm going to keep repeating myself on this in about 500 videos too. A week, all right? If you think you're fucking hiding something from someone or something or a command, you're not. I mean, we're not doing the exposed thing and stuff. There's other pages that do that shit, but we don't do that.
Right.
We're not doing that stuff. But we just find it funny that we usually assist said individuals when we get this and we say, hey, I think you need to lock down your shit, otherwise your business is going to be out there even more. Those are the advice that we can get. This last couple weeks have been pretty freaking crazy on all installations anyway. So it's we've run the gamut of all of it. It's freaking hilarious. That's brag all day. Narcissistic. No, it's not. It's not brag. Okay, so we want to make sure that everyone understands that be careful who you send stuff to, because there's no such thing there is no such thing as trust me when it comes to that shit. For real, just don't. Just don't even, especially if you're in a leadership position.
This is just a whole mess.
It's just a whole mess. Because then we have people that want to like
block that one right away.
U.S. Army WTF moments and WTF Nation. We don't have a let's blast him or let's blast her segments. We don't do that. That's whatever. That's it. We didn't want to get involved or entangled in that stuff because fuck, we don't want to be testified at fucking court. Now that everybody knows who I am. IS, did you not get this? Did you not get this information now in your inbox that this and this? I don't want to be in somebody's fucking divorce court.
Oh no.
Because
I know, like, we've had how many divorces between us?
I'm about to say, yeah, we're the divorce. Yeah, we are divorce enthusiasts in custody emeritus. We have enough. we have a whole wing named for us in the Hillsborough County, Florida. We have the Ice and Spanky Divorce Court Divorce Center of Excellence.
Oh my gosh, I used Dan Corbin here in the Hood area when I got divorced. And
Morgan for the people.
No, I literally asked because I have friends that have used them and used them multiple times, and I'm like, do you get like a divorce discount?
You do
in this area.
You do.
Get divorced again and come back. You do.
You do. There's been some times, there's been some times where somebody has come into the inbox, male or female, and have asked for divorce advice or custody advice or whatever, whether it be domestic violence issues, protective orders, and all that. And what I will do is I will drop information to the person that's asking, because everyone will be first thing. Naturally, everyone's first reaction will be, "Hey, Ken, you got a divorce question?"
Right?
And then I'm like, okay, fine. Even the judge says I'm good to go. The judge says that my advice is sound to the specifics. So I guess you can kind of say when it comes to the divorce court stuff or the divorce stuff or custody fighting or doing protective orders and all that, if the judge says Ken, stop giving fucking advice, then that's when I know I need to stop. But other than that, he said, yep, you're good, that was good advice, blah blah blah, and then go, or he'll say, hey, do a follow up, make sure you let him know this. And so basically I've been helping the judge out. But anyways, what were we saying? I don't want not to divulge too much of the I got a VIP room at my I got a fucking speakeasy. I go to my lawyer's office. They're like, hey, Ken, look how many scholarships you provided. look how you've sent my grandson to school. You got my new Harley. Shit like that. Yeah, fucking lawyers. But anyways. What were we at? Oh, yeah, more screenshot madness. Okay, so this next one, yeah, so anyways, moral of the story is when we verify screenshots, we're verifying this. We're actually verifying with our own stuff. So, be warned. This is some of the shit. We're not bullshitting. This is legit shit. So the next one is, has anyone found an assault pack with an ASEP in it? A what? Has anyone found an assault pack with a radio in it? Why would I know? Also, you guys are fucked. And the next question that comes out, of course, is, it's my LT. It was dropped behind the motor pole, and the only people I know who parked there, so I figured maybe you heard something. Poor LT. It's my LT's radio. An assault pack with it? Does not have an RTO? Starnes, what do you do with an LT when you can't find a radio? Do you lock the unit organization down? Is that what you do? What do you do? Heath, my phone fortress is to go with the wind. You guys still remember that freaking trivia? God, man. You guys got a good memory. What do you do? I mean, at that point, is that? Well, sorry, Lieutenant, you're screwed. You're done. See you. you doing? Anyways, what's the next one? Let me see. We got some comments in there. Someone's squawking.
No, I was trying to keep up with some comments, and
yeah, hang on.
It took me a minute.
Where's that comment at? I was just looking at that stuff. Facebook. Look, Facebook is going through their stupid ass freaking updates and shit.
I did have a hard time keeping up with all the questions today. I do believe I got them all in.
Right.
But because they kept like, wait, where did that go? I just saw it.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so the next one here is okay. So, what are your thoughts on the S1's hours? I mean, you're first sergeant. You're task sergeant. What do you feel about? I mean, the Swan. Do they really need to have the hours?
All of those hours?
Yeah. Do they?
No. My opinion is no, they do not. Yes, I understand that if they are constantly taking care of customers coming up, they can't get much else done. But that's how you need to design your shop. It's like one soldier, that takes care of the front desk basically, and everybody that's coming in with stuff. Everybody else is back there, getting stuff put into whatever system they need to put all the paperwork in, to actually do the actions that need to be done.
Right.
And they will get pulled away from that and not get, okay, so, you turned in this action.
Right.
I need to finish my part and get it sent up to the next level. So there's always going to be stuff that gets piled up if you can't get everybody to stop. But if you have one soldier up at the front that, is taking in paperwork,
Okay, so you're saying that basically having specific hours or times, or have somebody work the service desk would be good. So that way, once you can start actioning and start working on whatever paperwork or whatever needs to get processed. Is that what you're saying? So it's needed.
Right, and you have everybody back there actually, processing everything that the people up front are, taking in. They should know what should be in there. You're not just going to stick your newest private up there, so that soldier that needs help with some packet or whatever it is that they're turning in,
right?
That front desk person can scroll through and make sure it's all good to go. And like, all right, got it, sign your 200, and it'll get worked on by the people in the back.
Okay, so basically that person's process, sign up for it, 200, write some notes on what it is, and then it goes back. Okay, so what about meetings and stuff like that? I mean, because I remember, when I was in my unit. At the group level was notorious, and still is notorious from what I'm hearing, for awards. Like they can't, for some reason, fucking awards just seems to be. When I was an ops sergeant major, when I was a company first sergeant, we had guys and gals that had their fucking PCS awards or ETS awards or retirement awards that were sitting just forever. It's over. It's up at group. It's up at group. It's up at group. So what? Don't isn't the brigade? When they have little sync meetings, isn't that what they're supposed to be doing? Isn't that what they're supposed to be? Isn't that like they're supposed to be actioning or finding out what the hell's going on with that shit?
Yes.
Okay.
And I know every single meeting I've been in, from S3 time to S1 time to detachment sergeant time, we're going over that, and I know our S1s would get a status whose desk is it sitting at.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, it's not when it gets up to those higher levels, depending on the award. Okay, their adjutant at S1 is usually going to be the first one to has it.
Right.
But it's got to go routed through. It's not like it just goes from her desk
right
to the CG's desk.
Right.
So so when you're saying it's up at group or whatever.
Right.
That it will be there for like how it kind of got to go through all the company people
eternity.
And all the
I'm gonna say, why does it have to go through that? Okay, so real quick.
I don't know.
Okay,
but
so
everybody has their own reasons, their own unit policies.
So here's
more people want to see it besides the adjutant.
And they don't need to.
That adjutant can't just send it to
and they don't need to do that.
This sergeant major needs to see it.
Why?
This guy needs to see
That's what I'm saying. But sergeant major's not a commander. I guarantee that he's not an approval authority. He's just a QC to make sure that it's written in proper English. You know what I mean?
And by the time it gets up that high, it better be.
But right, by the time that's what I'm saying. By the time it gets better that high, so here's a meeting that was supposed to have taken in place indoors. The meeting was happening indoors, and it says, "Good afternoon, team. I do apologize for the inconvenience. We're going to be doing Brigade S1 sync telephonically due to weather." It was already an indoor meeting. What, were they having it outside or some shit?
Maybe we all have to go from their different battalion areas.
Different
and everything to get up to the brigadist.
To get what weather? I mean, come on, man.
I don't know. It could be like hurricanes and shit going on. I don't know. There's been a few of those.
Yeah. Okay. You're right. You're right. But really, the Swan doing something like that? I mean, come on, man.
I don't know. I have lived, and been in units where you're geographically separated, and like some of them are too far that they would call in for meetings as it is.
I can
see
that.
But the other units would drive up to the meeting, and so I could see it.
I can see that, but if
you
it's
still have to drive 20 minutes.
But if it's a meeting indoor, it's like
I guess we're gonna have to get a little bit more of what that was.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get it. When did you get a retirement? I did get a retirement award. It wasn't on time. How about that?
No, mine was not on time.
I did. Yeah, my retirement award was given to me as a fall retirement award, and then the paperwork just caught up, and then one of my buddies called me up and said, "Hey man, your retirement award's here. Do you want to come get it?" And then it became to where, "Hey, you need to come get it." Ken, are you gonna come get your award?
Address for me.
You gonna come get this award, Ken? Huh? You want me to do what? No. But all right, let's see what.
No, and again, that's another thing that kills me is like you have time. It does not take 6 months to do a high level award.
No way, dude.
No, like a normal PCS type award, I can understand
right.
if it's like
this is a retirement award. This is a retirement award.
I don't understand anybody's policies and why they make it so difficult.
Especially when they have retirement orders. If they have retirement orders, then guess what? You kind of have you kind of have a big clue of when they're when they're getting out, when they're retiring.
I mean, I should be able to push an RCOM up in one day.
Should.
And get it. Should. And it should not take longer than that.
Should.
An AM, I can like type it up and walk it through.
Yeah.
Like sign here, sign here, sign here. Thanks, guys.
Okay.
But
yeah. Okay. Here is the. I'm just looking right here. Okay. Whew. This is insane. This is more micromanaging on the digital level. This is why it's bad to have the digital domain sometimes. Sometimes access. Yeah, no, I did not. I did not get my retirement award until I was out. I was out. So there we go.
I actually got a call like right after I had signed out and stripped out of my uniform in Fort Campbell's parking lot and put on driving clothes, and it's already 4 hours away, and I got a call from my S1 asking me something. I'm like, I don't care. Yeah. I am gone. I don't care if you ever get this award to me.
Well, the reason why for me is that I wasn't planning on getting in a retirement ceremony, and one of my former troops, just and a good friend too. Actually, 1, 2, 3, 4 good peeps said, "No, screw you, Ken. You're having a retirement ceremony." I'm like, okay, and there you go. So I had to have one. All right, so this next screenshot is team. As we get back to the grind, I want to have a quick touch point. Here, that's a new thing. I want to have a quick. That's a new one. That's the new
touch point.
A quick touch point. That's like saying caveating or piggyback of. Yeah. As you all aware, it's a touch point. This is a few things that were addressed by with the core CG and CSM. As you are all aware, the things that have been circulating in the news about Fort Hood and a lot of things that can be fixed or prevented are three simple things: standards, discipline, and accountability. There we go. That's a standard like academy. That's like an academy like into. That's like a school environment mentality there. If you think happening on Fort Hood or not happening right here at JBLN, you could be wrong. See, this is JBLN trying to be like Fort Hood, trying to Uber.
It would be wrong.
They would be wrong. It's kind of like overstepping they're habitually line stepping over standards, overreacting, knee jerking just because of something that happened on Fort Hood. I'm not saying that we can't have accountability. I'm just saying that you're getting kind of stupid about it. We have soldiers missing, and we have standards and discipline problems. I challenge each of you to make our DVOD, our installation, the best in the Army. PT uniform on JBLN between 0630 and 0800 on duty days is the Army PT uniform. It doesn't matter if you're off, CQ, staff duty, on leave, or non-traditional pass. Are you fucking for real?
Yes, because that's going to fix, the standard system and accountability. And
not a training holiday or federal.
Fix it.
Let me read that again. PT uniform on JBLN between 0630 and 0800 on duty days is the Army PT uniform. It does not matter if you are off CQ, staff duty, or on leave, or non-traditional pass. Not a training holiday or a federal holiday. The uniform is the Army PT uniform. Man, easy there, West Point. I bet she's a West Pointer.
No, this makes me, like, I just saw, like, that ASU sweatpant outfit. Like, it's been floating around.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm totally buying that shit.
Yeah, I think I'm doing it now. I'm gonna go do that right now in an ASU freaking uniform.
Oh yeah, ASU. And I'm like, I saw that. I'm like, damn, I'm buying one of those. I'm gonna go running on battalion. I'm gonna go walk on battalion, making me more mad.
Nathan Garr said he had 11 years of service and didn't get a word for retiring. Good job, 3rd Brigade, 329 FA. There we go. 329 FA. Oh, blast, son.
Oh man,
this is funny. So, anyways, to continue, we had to do our part in making GLM. We've got to do our part to make GLM better. So this person's got a vision. We got a lot of boats, broken down cars, and trailers in the parking lot. If you notice these things, please report it. Oh, he's a narc too. And we have a way to report to Garrison to get them removed or contact the owner. And then of course it leads on to, if you see trash on there, pick it up. Look,
pick up trash.
Pick up trash. I love this, man.
I mean, I get it. Like, those things need to be done. I am not about their whole, like, oh gosh, you have to do PTs and PT thing.
Right.
Like, if you're off, and not going to formation, who cares?
Right.
All right. But I can see the other thing. It's like, you don't want your place looking junky, no matter where you're at.
No, I mean, but like
you don't want a bunch of broken down trailer homes,
right? Like
labs, or whatever it is.
Like Sergeant. I'm gonna go back what Sergeant Pouliot said about just having standard, just being taking pride of your. That's. I know what it's like to be overseas because, it's always been like that. I hate that shit. It's always been like that. I hate it. I hate when someone says, it's always been like that. And they want to drop that out, and then somebody comes in there and just like decides to fucking do whatever. So Jim Junjo, he was like, fuck, I'm heading to JBLM. I don't want to leave Hawaii now. Hey, if you give us your name, Jim, we know somebody now. We want to hang out and shoot the shit. No. We'll talk to the CSM to get you out. We'll get you stabilized. Don't you want to be in school? Right, go to jungle school. Did you want to be part of the premier light fighter division? Come on, man. Come on.
You gotta do the ranger thing. You gotta take control of your own.
Yeah, you gotta do the. You gotta. That's where listen to First Sergeant. Exactly. Listen to First Sergeant Marcus's Army style of career management. Do your shit your own self. Do what you got to do, man. Call Sergeant Major up. Say, hey, I want to go to jungle school. Or are you jungle qualified already? All right.
Or are they just tired of you once you're gone anyway?
Yeah, maybe that
happens.
Yeah. I knew somebody who was stationed overseas too fucking long. He thought he was a fucking citizen of that country. So I was like, dude, you need to fucking leave. All right. So okay. So this next one here, and this is the last one because we got to do housekeeping and all that shit.
Yeah. I gotta go to bed.
Yeah. I was about to say you've been running PT for You know me. I'm running off on all 8 cylinders, making sure your ass is in the turret, man. We're hitting all the freaking.
I have definitely missed these.
Yeah. Okay. So this next screenshot is what is this social media class? And someone's like, ha ha ha, laugh. That's the thing. It's probably about posting to Army WTF moments. Oh, okay. So me. A class about how not to get caught. I really hope they use my post for the class. Well, congratulations. Because your supervisor said, I hope so too, and there you go. Now you've been posted on U.S. Army WTF moments. Congrats. Now you got some clout. Yeah, you got some clout, son. You're good to go. Oh man, we aim to please. We are a customer-based organization.
We care a lot.
Yeah, we do care a lot. But anyways, okay. So, let me see what else we got. I think that's our last. Real quick, I just want to give a shout out to Drill Sergeant Smith out of Fort Benning for who went above and beyond, who freaking took care of a soldier who was stuck on the side of the road, couldn't get his car fixed, but he ended up, he said, hey, I'll take you to your house to get to square away. So I just want to give a shout out to the drill sergeant out there. The drill sergeants are not that mean. They're not mean at all. I'm just saying.
No. They're humans.
Yeah, they're humans. I was going over some notes and talking in the WTF Nation jock and all that, and then talking to some of our ops chats and stuff like that. We have a let's see. Wow. we have big names coming to WTF Nation Radio, and we want to make sure these guys are locked in before we start announcing. These are big names. Holy shit, these are big names. Damn. Pretty cool. I'm excited. If you are pop culture related stuff, then there you go. How about that, huh? That's
yeah, there's lots of stuff coming up. Amy has been like emailing everywhere.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
everybody.
Exactly.
She has done a great job without any help from me.
Well, now that you're back, we got some emails from Hawaii. That's what I'm talking about.
Right?
Did you see that? Oh, holy shit! This is
Amy's been forwarding me everything I need to know.
Right.
I'm like, okay, I'm catching up today.
Oh man, yeah, exactly.
Too much.
Okay. All right. So we had today Command Sergeant Major William D. or Billy Bill Pouliot, the CSM, the division CSM for the 25th ID Infantry Division, to come on here to talk about his organization and what the Lightning Academy is about, what his organization's been doing, getting ready for to posturing themselves in the Indo-PACOM AOR. Monday we have another WTF Nation Decides. WTF Nation Decides. We have Derek Grayson. A Navy veteran, Derek Grayson is a Republican and native of Georgia who will be running for U.S. Senate, representing the people of the great state of Georgia in 2020. So there you go. He's running. He's a veteran of the United States Navy, a community activist, minister, and a political enthusiast. I like that. Political enthusiast. That's what I'm talking about. Means he likes to argue. I'm a political enthusiast too, but I drop memes. Is that the same thing?
I mean, yeah, we all have our ways.
Yeah, exactly. Mr. Grayson has amassed quite a following. The social media is affectionately known as the Minister of Truth. Oh, man, I'm a minister of influence myself, man. That's what I'm talking about. But he was on our station here before, believe it or not, in 2016 when he was running for office, and will be on the Monday edition to talk about what his plans are if he is voted in office. So, again, WTF Nation Radio Decides every Monday, bringing you all the political stuff. Tuesday, on September 15th, we have Eric Vaughn, writer, producer, and actor. Eric Vaughn will be on Pop Culture Tuesday. Pop Culture Warrior. Why do we call it Pop Culture Tuesday? It's Pop Culture Warrior. That's it.
Okay, Pop Culture Warrior.
Yeah, you know Tuesdays. To come on to talk about his recent project, The Con, the TV series that is a docuseries based on the origin and the impact of the 2008 financial crisis in the U.S. He's also known for his work as in Ridge Reaper, 413 Waking Up of the American Dream, and The Chosen People, a film about Jewish identity. That's what I'm talking about. Now, the next one. This is my favorite. Oh, my God. I can't wait. Major General Hersey, the commanding general of Cyber Center of Excellence in Fort Gordon, will be on Sergeant's Time on the 17th and talk about their new home, Fortitude Hall. Man, I can't wait. This is going to be awesome. Some of the work that we did together is kind of like related to some of the stuff that you're listening to now. This could not have happened without AI and cyber. There you go. How about that? Let me drop some hints there. Can't wait for him to come on.
I believe it.
Man, dude, could you imagine? We've got another 2-star coming on here. Major General Neil Hersey, the commander of Cyber Center of Excellence. Whoop, whoop.
All the signal stuff.
All the signal cyber zeros and O's. The Borg is going to come out of the woodwork on this one. I can't wait. This is going to be an awesome lineup. I'm trying to get another 2-star on here, but for some reason they don't want to come on. Anyways, did I just drop that on there? Ooh, I just did that. Okay, so September 22nd on Tuesday for Pop Culture Warrior is filmmaker, graphic artist, and writer Volger Jerry. Is it Jerry or Gary? Is it Jerry? Gary? Is it pronounced Jerry?
I believe it's Jerry, but I'm not. I'll have to get the exact pronouncement, but I look all through. I'm like, okay, I think that's right.
Okay, so it's Jerry. Jerry Kissel will be on the show to talk about his latest work. He's the official cover artist for Warrior Publishing. Army veteran, was an Army combat medic during the first Gulf War, and with one of the 170th Infantry Regiment, 29th Infantry Division at Fort Yankee Hill, and later at 308th Medical Ambulance out of McClellan Air Force Base. And then, okay, this is no shit. Agent Coulson from the series Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and the Avengers, Captain Marvel, Iron Man 2, and Iron Man is going to be coming on Pop Culture Warrior the 29th of September. So make sure you write that down. This is going to be a Marvel freaking week. A Marvel, dude, it's going to be like, we're going to have freaking cyber. We're going to have freaking... Right. Oh, man, this is so awesome.
I was going through all this. I'm like,
I love you guys.
Busy.
I know all these projects that are coming together. I love it. This is what I'm talking about. This is what keeps me going right here. This shit right here. Someone said, "Hey, are you ever going to leave WTF Nation Radio, US Army WTF Moments?" I'm like, nope. When would you leave? Die. I shouldn't say that because that almost happened a couple times, so I better shouldn't go. So there we go. We're going to have Agent Coulson coming on, dude. Not Clark. Dude, that's going to be awesome. Wait till we have the more of a lineup coming up. Our lineup is going to get better and better. And I'm so freaking excited. I am so pumped. This is so... And this could not have happened without you guys and gals listening, following, and sharing on all of our platforms, to include Facebook on US Army WTF Moments, WTF Nation Radio, of course, and then our YouTube site and our Twitch site. Of course, on also other freaking platforms. We got about 14 of them. So if you don't know what you're going to download or check out, go to Stitcher, iHeartRadio, CastBox, Mixcloud, and TuneIn, Player, FM, iVoox, Twitch. You can listen to us on Twitter if you don't like. If you hate Facebook and you want to go to that other dumpster fire site known as Twitter and Periscope, go there. Go to Mode Crush, and then of course some of our shows you can download Livecast podcast on Google Play and Apple Podcasts. I think we got you covered. I think we all got you covered. Stick around for the intro video that I did for the 25th ID. And then that's it. I think we're good to go, right? Shit, I'm pumped, man.
I mean, that's all of September.
It is, man.
We're starting to lock in November dates. So if you guys have ideas of who you would like to see on any of our shows, not just Stormstein, let us know.
Yep, definitely. Just drop us an email at contact@WTFNationRadio.com. If you have any music you want to donate or listen to, we're getting a bunch of ones from Hawaii. I guess the island didn't know we were existing. I guess it's kind of cool.
Right.
Mahalo. Is that how you spell? You say mahalo, right? Isn't that how you say? You say mahalo?
I believe so. Yeah.
I don't want to mess it up. I want to be culturally sensitive to our fellow Americans, Hawaiians. So, at any rate, thank you all for listening to us. And then, like I said, we'll see you next time on Sergeant's Time. Shots.
Hey, this is SEAC retired John Wayne Troxel. You're listening to WTF Nation Radio, the station of choice for all of the badass MFers on the planet.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Us through the hubble as we celebrate the greatness of the United great planet of America. Space Force, we'll saddle up our intergalactic horse, and we'll ride into the sun, yes, into the sun, where we'll take the day by planting a flag right there at its source. Space Force. Now we'll go to infinity and beyond, beyond. You'll hear our manly voices singing Space Force strong. Though critics say sound doesn't travel in space, to which we reply sound will do as we say. Oh, Captain Kirk, your achievements, though notable and fine, as far as we're concerned, this is Deep Space Mine. And big fans, but Lord Vader, step away from the lightsaber. There can only be one, of course. Space Force. Ra-da-da-da-da-da, ra-da-da, ra-da-da, ra-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-dum, dum, 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 ra-da-da-da-da-da, ra-da-da, ra-da-da, ra-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-dum, dum, 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 dum. Space Force, Space Force, we'll saddle up our intergalactic horse, and we'll ride into the sun, yes, into the sun, where we'll take the day by planting a flag right there at its source. Space Force. Space Force.
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
please enjoy the show. Shots.